All right, calm down.
All right.
Settle down, Scott.
I'm settled.
I know you're excited Moon's out, but...
No.
But keep that to yourself.
Okay.
It's going to make him feel bad.
Sorry, Moon.
And we know he's listening.
Yes, in New York.
Oh, yeah.
He's always
He went
listening.
to playing Webster Hall tonight in New York City, and then Atlantic City on Saturday.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes, Webster Hall.
The Great Webster Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where Ghostbusters was filmed. Yes. No. That's
What?
That's a lie. I'm lying right now.
Oh,
Are
you
you
just got my
making
hopes
up
up.
facts?
I'm just trying to
Just trying to fit
connect.
in?
Yeah, I just want to fit in.
I just want to fit in, guys.
That
so I'm
sounded
just going to
legit.
make up facts about the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And where it was filmed.
Well, he texted us last night when he got to New York about the Ghostbusters firehouse, and he was there.
It's a very blurry photo.
Yeah.
Looked like his
see
phone was slimed.
Yeah, he says, take it with my BlackBerry 8820.
What time was this at?
You wouldn't have
9:28.
been up.
Yeah, we were all asleep.
I
was up.
Unread text messages.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. The Ghostbuster station in real life. You can't see anything.
Well, you got to hold it down. It's a live photo, so you can kind of see it if you hold it down.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
No, Nito.
Follow me for more technological
Wow,
tips.
okay.
That's pretty cool. Out front of Webster Hall there.
Yes, in front of Webster.
Nope.
Oh.
Let's not make up stuff.
Oh.
Okay? You're going to
This was a
confuse the
radio
audience.
program. That's true.
Sorry,
We're already
audience.
confused.
I do want to start out with an email
Okay.
this morning from this is from James, and James writes, and it came over what time this morning? It came over at just before we hit the air, so it was what time was this at? 5:26 a.m. And James writes, headline: I need a douchebag beating.
Okay.
Okay,
Go on.
the headline got my attention.
Taking my earrings off right now.
Cracks knuckles.
Dear Rizzuto Show, I haven't heard this request before, so I don't know if it's an option. Yesterday morning, 2 of my kids were almost killed by an idiot who not only blew through a bus stop sign, but went around 2 stopped cars to do so.
Wow.
My first-grade son barely made it across the road, and my mom was able to grab my daughter, who's in kindergarten, and pull her back. Luckily, there was an off-duty officer who saw the events and followed the guy. We found out later down the road he hit another car and left the scene of that.
Oh, my God.
The guy was arrested, and hopefully we'll have the book thrown at him. I'm asking my favorite morning show to please give this guy a douchebag beating, because what I would like to do to this guy is illegal.
Yep.
Thanks for everything you do. Sincerely, James. And it's ironic because I had that particular story, because this particular story of this guy who ran the school bus stop sign is like top news on Fox 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Should we just issue the beatdown right now and just get that out of the way?
Yeah, let's just get that out of the way.
Let me just get this done.
Can we also
That's for you, James.
Can we bring more things like the tank?
Oh, you want more?
Yeah, I like to get the tank out, because if this
could
guy's
run
trying to
over him
run
a
over
little
little
bit.
kids, like I would like to get. Thank you.
And since he did a hit and run, we might as well do the bunker buster.
Oh,
All right.
You know?
How about a drive-by? We can do that too.
Ooh, yeah.
thank you.
Good.
So here's a headline on Fox 2. Driver arrested after blowing past Franklin County school bus, nearly hitting kids. James's kids.
Those are James's kids, man.
And Fox 2 writes, every driver knows this rule of the road. You must stop while a bus is loading and unloading. But Thursday morning, officials in Franklin County said a man ignored that rule and nearly hit 3 kids in the process. It was a close call for kids on the way to school. The Missouri State Highway Patrol confirms multiple kids were about to cross the street to get onto a Northwest R1 school district school bus when a man in a white van blew by, ignoring signals to stop.
And he was in a white van. Ugh.
Oh, and there's video. There's video. It's wild.
These kids aren't hot. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Troopers said thankfully some adults saw the man was not going to stop and grab the kids before they could walk into the street.
What a jerk.
Trooper said an off-duty Maryland Heights police officer was behind the van and saw it all happen.
Thank goodness that cop was there.
Situation could have been much worse had people around the scene not reacted so quickly. It sounds like there was a parent or grandparent that was able to see the man coming, and that was able to stop the kids before they crossed the road. It all happened around 8 a.m. The off-duty officer called it in. Trooper said shortly after that they were able to track down the man accused of driving the white van, 42-year-old Corey B. Lacey of House Springs. Trooper said they tried to pull him over. He led them on a chase, weaving in and out of traffic before running into another car near the intersection of Highway O and Robertsville Road. They said he crashed shortly after that on Robertsville, got out of his car, and tried to run away from police. Officials had arrested him around 8:35. Neither the school bus incident nor the ensuing chase resulted in any injuries, thank God. He said he hopes this serves as a reminder to drivers that you must stop for school buses when they are picking up or dropping off students. Mm-hmm. So this guy's facing a whole heap of charges, including felony resisting arrest, felony leaving the scene of an accident, operating a motor vehicle in a careless and improper manner involving an accident, and failing to yield to an emergency vehicle. Oh, surprise, surprise, also had warrants out for his arrest.
It's like a
in
good
Jefferson
guy.
County and St. Charles for driving without insurance and having an expired license.
Wow. Yeah.
It's all could have been avoided had he just stopped for the school bus.
Man.
Last check, he's still in the Franklin County Jail on a $30,000 cash-only bond.
Trash person, man.
Well, what should the punishment for this be, or for anybody who runs?
Did they say whether there's like booze was involved or anything like that?
No. No, he did
like
it.
Seems like a DUI move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't say why he did it. Again, he did have warrants, but he wouldn't have known that an off-duty cop was behind him. Mm-hmm. So it's not like there was a marked patrol car we was trying to run from.
Yeah,
He's just an a-hole.
Yeah, you're an a-hole. I would say like $10,000 fine, and then I would say get your license suspended for any amount of time.
5 years.
5 years?
5 years? You think that's short of a time span? Because, I mean, he's
5
very
years.
fortunate no kids were hurt, but
Right.
that's still, if there's a stop sign like that and you know that kids aren't going to be on their best at looking both ways, then, I mean, technically tempted?
Well, that's what I mean.
Murder?
I'm not
Attempted
saying
murder?
$10,000
Because
for
you're doing it
running
on
the
purpose
stop
at that
sign.
point.
Like the bus stop sign should just be $10,000. If you would have actually killed a kid or something or
Oh,
hit
that's
somebody,
murder. Ah,
you're
yeah,
in
that's-
life
that's
prison.
murder.
Yeah. So.
Oh, apparently the video we saw on Fox 2 was file footage. It wasn't that particular incident.
Oh, okay.
That was another close call they were showing.
Gotcha.
Some a-hole running a bus stop sign. No, I think 5 years is all right. $10,000 fine, 5 years of
Suspension.
5 years of license suspension. So you get the $10,000 fine, 5 years license taken away, and maybe 30 days in jail.
And some sort of community service where you understand more about like that action. Those bus stop signs aren't there to annoy people. They're there literally so children can cross the damn street. So you got to do something with the kids. Maybe in his future he has to become a bus driver.
Maybe. Oh, and okay. Here we
Or
go.
he has to dodge a bus.
Here we go.
Right.
Monitor. Permanent bus monitor.
There you go.
Here we go. $10,000 fine,
Okay.
Okay.
5-year license suspension,
Yes.
30 days in jail, and you have to fight 55 third graders.
Fine.
Oh, I like it.
Approved.
I
Let
would
it be
go
law.
30 minutes in a padded room with all the neighborhood dads.
Yeah, okay.
Consequence free.
And the moms. Don't sleep on the moms here. Okay. These are
All
their
right,
babies.
Okay.
This is let the dads at them second.
Hey, equal rights.
God forbid.
Equal rights and lefts.
That's
just-
right.
Mama bears are coming out swinging.
Equal rights and lefts. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
All right, throw the moms in the
Swamp
mix, too.
justice is for everyone.
It is.
So we're crossing off the kids being involved. Okay. So no kids?
Nah, the kids
I
have
thought
done
55
enough.
third graders.
Could be.
This isn't their problem.
Or
to
do you
solve.
want to do 10 dads and a mom?
10
One
moms
mom?
and dads.
The hardest mom
10
in the
moms
school,
and
dude.
dads.
Equal. 5 of each. And hopefully one of those is a gay couple. You know?
Right.
Let's just make it as
This is as equal as it can be.
equal as it could possibly
All right.
be.
5 moms, 5 dads, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
a half hour's.
Okay, sufficient.
I'll get it done. Or get those 2 dudes from the gas station yesterday with the broomstick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the guys that...
Oh, those guys are
Those guys were
great.
experts
That beat the robber?
in measured swamp justice. Very measured in their vengefulness.
Jesse makes a good point. The dads would beat him up. The moms would kill him. So just
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it should be all moms then.
Well,
I didn't want the guy to die.
We need somebody.
It's too late.
We've
already opened the door.
Retract the invitation now.
We need somebody as voice of reason in that room. So let's get at least one dad in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey says fines and suspensions don't stop douchebags like this. That's why we're going to issue the swamp justice too.
It's a 5-tier plan.
There is a chance that dads would waste the 30 minutes arguing on the best, most effective way to beat this guy up.
True.
You start at the ankles and you work your way up. Nah, just like arguing over directions to get somewhere.
Yeah, this guy's a bad dude. That's a bad dude.
Yeah.
But I'm glad.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm glad. Thank God the kids are okay.
Yeah.
Thank God the kids are okay in this situation. And
Well, okay, so the video we saw was...
that was file footage.
I want to know why the school bus parked in the middle of the road in that one video.
What do you mean?
It didn't pull in on the side up close to the...
Maybe it was a one.
Well, they stop in the
car should-
street. They don't pull. They don't
Car
pull
shouldn't
over.
go. Maybe it's a one-way road.
Okay.
Cars shouldn't be going around anyway.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to the grandma who saved.
Oh, yeah.
the grandbaby.
Grandma, you're a hero.
Listen, Scott shouldn't talk anyway. He killed somebody.
Oh yes, the curse continues for this show.
Huh?
Apparently.
Good job, dude.
Thank you.
Apparently, King Scott killed OJ.
He did.
It wasn't prostate
I didn't want
cancer.
that to get out.
It wasn't prostate cancer. It was King Scott that killed OJ.
And I'm his biggest fan. I guess I was a little too creepy as a biggest fan. I mean...
So yesterday, just as we were getting off the air, I think we broke the news.
Mm-hmm.
First people in St. Louis to report it.
Yep. Good thing you signed up for those OJ dead email updates back 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Paid off.
Yeah,
finally.
it did.
O.J. Simpson died yesterday. Well, actually died the day before, but the family announced it. The family announced it yesterday. And the day that he actually
got a day
died,
of.
So that was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about how up in Maryland Heights at the Rawlings facility up there today, they are doing this Rawlings Experience ribbon cutting. It's going to be at 10:30. Rawlings Sporting Goods Company, the official baseball glove, helmet, face guard, and base of Major League Baseball, and the creator of the renowned Rawlings Gold Glove Award announced the grand opening of the new Experience Center located in Westport Plaza alongside its new corporate office that opened in late 2023. So it's going to be a whole thing today.
Which
where
is
people,
awesome.
Yeah, but people could come down, and I know Randy and Brooke from ESPN are broadcasting from up there. Fred Bird's going to be out there at 8:30. Ozzie Smith's going to be out there at 10 o'clock.
Ted Simmons
will be there at 2. The Rawlings Experience opens to the public at 11 today. So we're just talking about some of the stuff they're going to have there. Some of these famous bats and some of the famous gloves. And King Scott on Wednesday said, is OJ's glove going to be there?
Right.
Probably. And you know what? Scott's right. Probably one of the more iconic gloves.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous one.
If it don't fit, you must have quit. I mean,
right.
Now, I don't know. I think that was isotoner. I think that was an isotoner.
Okay, yes, I think you're right.
Not a Rawlings glove.
We'll see if they are owned by Rawlings.
But as far as famous gloves go, I would put the OJ isotoner.
Who has?
I mean, if you have a glove museum.
In the Museum of Gloves, I would think that would be.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a top 5 glove of all time.
Easy.
Yeah.
Outside of the scope of baseball, I don't know. There's only a few gloves. Maybe the Roger Rabbit glove for dipping tunes in the the sauce.
Michael
the Arby's
Jackson's
glove.
Michael Jackson's glove.
One glove.
Yeah. Ooh, was it Nintendo Kid or whatever? Does that count?
Nintendo Power and
the Power
Freddy
glove.
Krueger,
Yeah,
Freddy
Power
Krueger's glove.
Probably
Krueger's glove.
Rufio's fingerless gloves and Hook. Cool as hell.
Yeah, well, they,
Rufio. Oh.
They're maybe in the
Maybe they'll
lobby.
be in the lobby.
Okay. You can all go
They'll be on the
yourself.
road travel.
That'll be like
Not
when you're online, you
tarnish
go,
the
oh,
glove
cool,
museum."
Rufio's gloves, cool.
So this is what we're going to get to see it here. This is exciting.
You're thinking the Fred Savage Power Glove?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scott mentions OJ's glove, and boom, OJ dies later that day.
I'm sorry to the Simpson family. I didn't mean that. Meant no harm. I was excited. I thought the glove was going to be in town.
I couldn't wait to hit social media.
Yeah.
See what.
Everybody
see what was up.
See how kind everyone was going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a real love fest.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
8 million Norm Macdonald clips.
You know what I'd seen yesterday, that whole, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit thing, and the famous scene of him in the courtroom, the glove doesn't fit. First off, that's the whole, you never let the defense touch the evidence. Mm-hmm. As a prosecutor, that's one of those things. Like, you never let the defense touch the evidence. What I had seen was that the famous lawyer Johnny Cochran told OJ, who was suffering from arthritis, don't take your arthritis medicine.
Oh.
So it swell up.
So his hands swell, like we're all swollen. Like, don't take your arthritis meds, and your hands are going to swell. We know we're going to try on the glove. I got the whole rhyme down. It's going to be a whole thing.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I read.
Conspiracy theory.
And it sounds like a feasible thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do your hands swell if you have arthritis? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't got arthritis. It makes sense. Maybe it does. I don't know.
We don't know.
I know, but that does make sense. And everybody was hoping for this deathbed confession, and that didn't happen.
We don't know yet. That could come out. That
OJ made a deathbed confession?
Yes.
If that happened, I'm sure it would have been out by now.
They took their time to announce his death. I imagine if he did a confession, that's going to be held on to after the funeral is over. That's not, because that will be the focus. The family's probably wanting to focus on his death.
Yeah.
And
not on some
any
negative
sort of
thing
confession.
in the past.
Yeah, right.
There might be somebody out there, too, that knows. What's his name driving the Bronco?
Al Cowlings?
Al Cowlings probably knows.
The hamburger helper glove would be in the
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
a top glove of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Tim was saying last night, because I don't remember this, but there was some interview of OJ whenever he was being accused, and he said to come back to the hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
And he opens the door and he has a knife and he's like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the lady let him ask. He's like, you can ask one time so we can be done with it. She's like, did you do it? He goes, looked at the camera and smiled. He goes, no, I did not. And then she played the clip, and she opens the door, and he literally has a knife, and he's stabbing and going, ring, 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 ring.
What a crazy person.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a murderer.
Yeah.
I personally think it's the Robert Durst thing. Like, he wanted to admit it so bad. Like, subconsciously, he did so many things. The book, If I Did It, that situation where he pretended to stab a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, honestly, part of me is like, I think the whole other thing with him, like armed robbery and kidnapping.
I mean, he did do time.
He did, and I think he's like, God, what do I got to do to go to prison? Like, I just put me in there, so I think I think subconsciously maybe he wanted to be absolved.
The one word that every news report had was O.J. Simpson, complicated.
Yeah.
Like that's the one word every news story had was complicated.
Yeah.
Listen, he was a better football player than he was a person. We know that.
Mm-hmm. Great actor.
Okay, so O.J. Simpson, record-breaking NFL career with the Buffalo Bills. You think the Bills will put an O.J. patch on?
Yeah, I
next
think
year?
so.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think so.
What a weird place for them to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey.
Yeah.
And you know what? So the murders happened in 94. I was listening to a podcast this morning. They brought up this point. Murders happened in 94. The last time the Bills made the Super Bowl, 1994. Have not since.
They rolled out the red carpet for him. All last year, it was all OJ in like a luxury box at a Bills game being like...
Yeah, but even then, we're like, ooh, not a great look, Bills.
I'm saying the Bills themselves didn't seem to like put a lot of distance between themselves.
Well, is there going to be an OJ patch?
Well,
Listen,
I don't think so.
Petition for it.
I
don't
highly
think so.
doubt it.
So Yeah, listen, I think we all know the bio. He won the Heisman Trophy as a running back for USC, had a record-breaking NFL career with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, the guy rushed for 2,000 yards in only a 14-game season.
Wow.
So again, great football player, terrible person. After that, he transitioned to a career as a sideline reporter, a commercial pitchman, famously for the Hertz rental car company. He was an actor. The highlight of his Hollywood career, was easily his role as Norberg in the Naked Gun movies. But then in 1994, somebody killed O.J.'s ex-wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend, Ron Goldman. Cue to the white Bronco chase, a bloody glove, and shady jury manipulation. And O.J. was innocent. Legally speaking, of course. He was later found liable for their deaths in a civil suit in order to pay the Goldman family $33.5 million. They only ever got a tiny fraction of that. O.J. did spend 9 years behind bars after he and some friends busted into a hotel room in Vegas to recover what O.J. said was stolen memorabilia. One of his people had a gun. He was released in 2017. O.J.'s family's asking for privacy and grace. Privacy, sure. Grace, I wouldn't count on it.
Nancy Grace.
I wouldn't count on it.
Get Nancy on the case.
So here's everything.
That made her career, too.
That's true.
Oh, Nancy Grace?
Yeah. OJ trial, that blew Nancy Grace up. That was her big, and then she was.
Oh, I thought it was the one, the
John Bonet?
No, the one who was acquitted of killing her daughter.
Casey Anthony?
Casey Anthony.
Oh, that's way after.
Yeah.
Nancy Grace was became a household name during the OJ trial. That's when her whole, the 24-hour news coverage of trials, cameras in the courtroom, all that stuff was the thing.
Yes, we all know the names from the OJ trial. Judge Ito and
Cato Kalin.
Cato.
Rob Kardashian.
Yeah, Rob Kardashian.
Kurt Russell. You ever hear that story?
No.
So Goldie and Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson, they're all at home during the Bronco chase, and they live down the street from O.J. Simpson because they all live in Hollywood. And Kurt Russell is watching the news and seeing that O.J.'s flying home in the Bronco, and so Kurt Russell runs down to where all the cameras are at O.J.'s house, and Kurt Russell's just there. If you look at that footage.
No way.
And so Kate Hudson tells the story on her podcast about seeing her pa on the news while the feds and every news station in the world is at O.J. Simpson's house. And Kurt Russell's in the background.
He's as hoosh as all of us, where it's, there's going to be, we're going to go down there and see what's going on.
He was dressed as Wyatt Earp.
Yeah. I can solve this.
Marsha Clark was the curly-haired prosecutor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, she got eviscerated. Ruined her career.
Yeah. So O.J. died owing the Goldmans more than $100 million, including interest. And they still plan on grabbing whatever they can, if anything's left. Ron Goldman's father released this statement. The only thing I have to say is it's just a further reminder of Ron being gone all these years. No great loss to the world. It further reminder of Ron's being gone.
Wow.
Marsha Clark, the prosecutor, sent condolences to the Simpson family. The White House did as well. The same day that O.J.'s death was announced, Ford recalled more than 22,000 Broncos due to possible cracked fuel injectors. Huh? What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
YouTube has 35 minutes of Norm Macdonald telling O.J. jokes on Saturday Night Live. Those jokes allegedly got Norm fired. Here's some of that.
Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. It was revealed this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, "Hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know."
Now, mind you, these were on Weekend Update, and he was fired over these jokes because Don Ohlmeyer, who was the West Coast president of NBC, was buddies with O.J., and they told Norm Macdonald, no more O.J. jokes.
It usually goes well when you tell a comedian not to do something.
Right. And Norm said, sure.
This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, "There it is, I've been looking all over for that thing." In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's you don't get worse luck than that. Tomorrow, Judge Lancito will take O.J. and the jury on a tour of the now famous crime scene. For the jury, it will be their first look at the actual location. Of course, for O.J., it will be just a case of been there, done that.
I told you last time I was in L.A., I was out for a radio thing, and we happened to be in Brentwood, California, and someone said, hey, the famous crime scene is like 2 blocks away from the restaurant. And I was drawn to it. I had to go see it. I go, let's go. Let's go. I got to see it.
And what was your review afterwards?
It's nothing. I mean, like, there's no, like...
No monument?
There's no monument to it. There's nothing.
It's a big glove with a knife.
There's nothing there. It's just a street. It's just a street with some houses. That's it. There was nothing. No grand monument there.
My favorite Norm joke was he said, "No, O.J. claims Nicole Brown Simpson used to beat him. He also claims she and Ronald Goldman killed him."
Yeah, you ever hear the conspiracy theory that actually O.J.'s son did it, and O.J. took the fall. It took covered it up. I was going to take the fall for him. O.J.'s final tweet on February 11th, he said his health was good, and he was, quote, just about over his issues. This meme is funny, but it's off by a day. O.J. died on the 10th. His death was announced on the 11th. I guess the Onion did so. Look up the Onion. They had a pretty funny meme about it. And finally, just because it's legendary, remember The People versus O.J. Simpson?
Yes. The show?
The show.
On FX.
And it was David Schwimmer playing Robert Kardashian. Mm-hmm. And just saying juice 50,000 times. Look that up, too. Hey, where's the Bronco?
Yeah, where is the Bronco?
I know exactly where it is.
Are you serious?
I know exactly where it is.
Is it in
Well, did they get it fixed because there's
It's
a
in
recall?
a museum.
Really?
Like
a
the
news
famous,
museum?
or infamous Ford Bronco is on display at a museum in Tennessee. The Bronco was not OJ's. That was not
really?
OJ's Bronco.
Who's Bronco?
Al Cowlings, his buddy.
Who was in the car with him?
Because
yeah,
OJ was in the
driver.
back.
Yeah, OJ was in the back, but that was Al. So OJ did own a white Bronco, and apparently Al Cowlings was like obsessed with OJ.
So he bought the same car.
So he bought the same car.
Best friend.
Whoa.
He's like Stevie from Eastbound and Down.
Has to have everything that he's got.
Did sales go up or down after all of this for Ford Broncos?
Well, they took them out of the market for 20, 30 years, whatever it was. I don't know how long after that.
Let's say down.
I would say down because they did remove them from their lineup.
Because of that?
They discontinued.
I don't know.
They didn't say that, but they discontinued the Bronco.
But the Blazer also disappeared around the same time.
Pretty much immediately.
Sales jumped from a respectable 30,000 units in 1993 to an impressive 37,000 units the following year.
Huh.
So it went up 7,000 units.
All right.
I mean, that was a cool car.
discontinue
That Bronco.
Yep. Great advertising.
That's a cool car. So the Bronco actually belonged to his buddy and former teammate Al Cowlings, who was driving the cars. OJ sat in the back. Spectators lined the streets in L.A. to cheer on, OJ. 90 million people nationwide watched the chase on TV. I remember exactly where I was. We were coming back from a field trip. We went to Six Flags. And there was a basketball game on at the same time. There was the Knicks were playing somebody. And they kept cutting back and forth from the Knicks game. It was a playoff game to the chase.
I've seen it. There's a museum in Tennessee in Pigeon Forge called the Alcatraz Museum.
That's it. That's exactly where it is.
I went this year, and they had like a Bonnie and Clyde car, and they had OJ's, the legitimate white Bronco that Al was driving was in this museum. And it was kind of weird to see it like in person because I'm just like.
The famous getaway Bronco lives at the Alcatraz East Crime Museum in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Houston Rockets.
It's been at the museum since 2016. So the Knicks were playing the Rockets, and they were kind of going back and forth.
And this article says the chase that stole, the Rockets NBA Finals glory. Because I guess they're upsetting the Knicks or something. And
yeah, was it a Game 7?
It might have been.
It was like a big game.
It just took away all their thunder.
So the Bronco is among 4 getaway cars featured at the crime museum, along with Bonnie and Clyde's death car from the '67 film. Mm-hmm. Ted Bundy's Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. That was creepy to look at.
John Dillinger's Red Essex Terraplane. The museum was already planning on opening a special OJ exhibit later this summer to honor the 30th anniversary of it. Now with the death of OJ, looks to be more popular than ever.
Sure.
Did you see that they have the Bill Gates Segway there? That's pretty cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I was in my grandma's kitchen, and I just remember being home from school, and my grandma and my dad were just locked because we didn't have anything going on in Southern Illinois like a Knicks game. It was just nonstop coverage. Yeah. And they would not get up from the damn table. And I was like, you're a little kid. You're like, what's going on?
I mean, wild, right? And here's actual news footage describing O.J. Simpson after the Bronco had pulled into his driveway, and there was a standoff with the police. Remember he had the gun to his head?
We're watching O.J. Simpson pull into his driveway. He has driven all the way. O.J. Simpson is in the back of this vehicle. The reports we've received off of the police scanners is that Mr. Simpson has a gun to his head and obviously is threatening suicide.
Yeah, and this is him communicating with the police.
You don't need to be with Nicole. That doesn't need to be done now. You need your kids, and your kids need you. Don't do this to them. You're hurting everybody, man. When did you see the kids last, Juice?
AC pulled me in my driveway.
I know. I see you. I see you. Please, toss the gun. Juice, just toss it. Come on, man. Just toss it, please.
Juice.
Wow.
Juice. Now, many think the fact that it didn't bring up the Bronco chase at the trial was part of him being acquitted. They never brought it up.
Well, why would, I guess they would say, why did the chase happen if you were innocent? Or why did you have a gun? And why were you...
Or were they thinking the conspiracy of if he was protecting someone else that might have murdered her?
It was never brought up at trial. And here's OJ from an old interview explaining why.
What was amazing is what they thought.
What was amazing?
What was amazing is what they thought were facts in my case that weren't facts in my case. I was in 3 trials. They never brought up the Bronco ever in a court of law. The media brought it up. See, the law is flight can be construed as guilt. See, if you tried to get away, they can bring it up in court and say he tried to get away, and the judge will instruct a jury that says that that's a sign of guilt. They never brought it up in any of my trials because they know I wasn't fleeing. But the public had that perception through the media that I was fleeing, so the perception was better than the fact.
Through the media?
Well, the reason that they wouldn't bring it up possibly was because he was such in disarray from learning that his wife was killed. That would have maybe put something emotionally positive on him.
But I
don't know.
It's crazy that was never even brought up during the trial.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that was June of '94 was the car chase. Incredibly 30 years ago. So let's harken back to the spring of 1994. Here's what was going on. In the spring of 1994, which really demonstrates how long ago 30 years was. In March of 1994, the People's Republic of China got its first ever connection to the internet. April 5th, Kurt Cobain took his own life. On May 10th of 94, there was a solar eclipse. But before we, start any astronomical OJ conspiracy theories, this was a partial annular eclipse, they call it. It did have a similar path stretching from Mexico up through Ohio. May 26th, Michael Jackson married Lisa Marie Presley. On June 15th, The Lion King hit theaters. The number one song in the country over this stretch was The Sign by Ace of Base, Bump and Grind by R. Kelly.
Ooh, nice.
And Rafe's favorite, I Swear, by All for One.
God, that's a good song. John Michael Montgomery sang it first, but that's fine.
The top scripted show on TV in that spring was Home Improvement, followed by Seinfeld, Roseanne, Grace Under Fire, and Coach. No one had seen Friends. It was still a couple months away from premiering. The internet got real in 94 with the founding of both Yahoo and Amazon.com, and an entrepreneur named Gary Kremen, who founded Match.com, first registered the domain Sex.com.
Whoa.
Dang.
Major League Baseball was headed towards a player strike, which would cancel the World Series, and the biggest sensation for kids was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Nice.
Big year.
That was all 1994. So, what did Brad Williams tweet out yesterday?
Oh, man.
Rest easy, OJ. The killer is finally dead.
Man.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite tweet from yesterday.
Well, there's like he was on it too. Yeah, Brad Williams tweeted out, he retweeted the New York Post, O.J. Simpson dead at 76 with the link, and he says, finally, O.J. can rest knowing his wife's killer is dead.
Gosh, man.
Yeah, there were a lot of versions of that joke out there. He got there first.
Yeah, but he was first.
That we saw, for sure.
Oh, Carrie just sent a picture of the, I guess she was down at Pigeon Forge at that museum. There's the Bronco. There it is.
Hey, nice ride.
The white Bronco. Man.
Speedy Bronco.
My friend Mickey Gray from K-Sheet tweeted a picture of the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase from 94 with the cops behind him. And this meme says, if they don't do this for O.J.'s procession to the funeral home, it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be interesting to see who shows up to OJ's funeral.
Oh, yeah. The Kardashians will be there.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's her
They
face?
already, no.
No, I don't know that for sure, but they will.
Isn't
Like,
it Chloe's dad?
Yeah, there's that rumor, but
It's
I mean,
like their
Chris,
godfather.
they will.
Kris Kardashian, you kidding me?
No, they don't get along. They never got. Well, there was a falling out after OJ killed her best friend.
I don't know. It sounds like they're
I think there was a
still
falling
in
out after
talks.
OJ killed her best friend.
We'll see.
So that would ruin a friendship?
I don't think that they were.
They're thinking of the
tight.
family, though. Funerals for the family. And also, everybody's going to be watching this and seeing who's wanting to go and who will be
Didn't
there.
Caitlyn Jenner, tweet out like "rotten hell"?
Oh.
Oh, I don't remember.
Good
that.
riddance.
Good riddance. Yeah, I don't think that was a tight family.
Okay.
Oh, anyway, in other news, you know what Monday is? Monday is tax day.
Yay.
Monday's tax day, so hopefully everybody is getting everything together this weekend if you hadn't already. Here's a fun reminder that the government, does take a little bite of everything. A study found the average American will pay just under $525,000 in taxes in their life. The exact number is $524,625. And that's just not just income taxes. It includes things like sales tax and property taxes. So altogether, it amounts to 35% of all the money we earn goes to taxes. And it depends on where you live, though. People in one state actually have to cough up over half their earnings. Congratulations, New Jersey.
Ooh.
54% of your money gets taxed away.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Connecticut is next at 49%, then Vermont and New York, 45%. Compared to that, the people in Alaska have it pretty easy at just 25%. There's no statewide sales tax in Alaska, so that's one reason. After that, it's Delaware at 26, Louisiana at 27. And Google Trends looked at the top questions we've been asking ahead of tax day. And they include, is it better to file jointly or separately, how to file an extension, and how often does the IRS audit? Mm-hmm. Does anybody know that answer?
I don't.
A lot.
It's 1 in every 500 returns. So 1 in every 500 returns, the IRS will audit. So it's about you have a 0.2 chance. But it's higher if you earn a lot. People who make over $10 million a year have about a 1 in 40 chance
Oh, no.
of the IRS taking an extra look-see.
Well, glad I don't make that money then.
So if you need some tips, all right, get organized this weekend. Hopefully Hopefully by now you've got all the documents you need. You can find a list of documents at the IRS website. File the fastest way. E-filing is the fastest way to get your tax return to the IRS. And if you made less than $79,000 last year, you could file for free using the IRS free file. Request an extension. If you're not able to make the Monday deadline, apply for an extension. You must fill that request by Monday. And that, by the way, doesn't give you an extension for payment if you owe money.
Okay. Oh, really?
So they want their money on Monday.
What's the point of an extension?
I don't know. I don't know.
The paperwork?
Yeah,
that's strange.
I don't know. But they want their money by the 15th. I've always read that.
Yeah, this is the first year that my husband and I, we got a professional to actually do our taxes. Like, normally we've gone to all these, and it's not a knock on H&R Block or TurboTax. Those are great. But, we had a little bit more complicated thing. And we don't know. I think a lot of people just don't know how to do their damn taxes. And you try to follow it online and do the best you can. But, we were like paying so much every year. And so we got a professional to help us. And, it helped.
It helps.
It helped
Isn't it
across
wild
the
to
board.
spend a few extra dollars?
Yeah.
How much more you
Spend
can
a
And it
couple
was
extra
expensive.
bucks. You spend a couple extra bucks, but I think for the peace of mind, you have a pro do it.
Yeah, for real.
Because I
'Cause you
was
miss stuff.
same way till 2 years ago. The rich dad, poor daddy said he hires the best. So I was like, I got to do the same thing. And so I went to a tax pro and it's down the street to one of the
Jackson Hewitt.
And yeah.
Great
no.
tax.
And
One in Walmart.
First time in my adult life, I pretty much got money back.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, you
All right,
got
worth
a
it.
pro, and they see things you don't see, and for that peace of mind too. Like this is being done right.
Should we be teaching in high school taxes? Having a
How to do
semester?
taxes?
Because I wish it was some. I know that they're not going to totally get it because they're not even paying taxes yet. But a lot of high schoolers are working, and they're going to have
Here's
to do
how
it
you do your
eventually.
taxes. You pick up the phone, you call a CPA, and say, "Can you do my taxes?"
I had that class in high school.
Did you like economics?
It's a class called Adult Living.
Yeah.
Right? One of my favorite teachers, Wilma Westerfield, taught it. And it was taught you how to balance your checkbook, how to do laundry, how to cook a casserole, how to iron a shirt, how to sew a button on.
Nice.
Wow.
Whoa,
Just like
life skills.
So an
life
actual
skills. And one
good
of the things,
school
we had like
class.
a 2-day thing on like taxes. Obviously we didn't have.
You didn't do a deep dive.
No.
Didn't do a deep dive, but she at least like covered like, hey, you might have to file. This is the date. Make sure that this is the difference between when you get a job and a W-2, the difference between claiming zero dependents and
What
claiming
withholding is and all that stuff. That's great.
She went
That
over all
is
that
awesome.
stuff.
That's great.
And like that was, I still didn't completely grasp it at 18, but at least I had a knowledge of it.
No.
Yeah, you weren't
I agree.
completely ignorant.
That's good. Well, TikTok is where I go for my advice, and they say that there's no law that says you have to pay taxes.
Yeah,
Oh.
you go with
Go
that.
that route.
If you haven't filed your taxes by Monday, still complete the still complete the return as soon as possible. The penalty for late filing is a percentage of the taxes you didn't pay on time. Mm-hmm. Now, there's no penalty being late if you're owed a refund, but you do still need to file your taxes. So that's Monday. Let this be your reminder. You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Rizz.
It's very sweet of you.
It's a tax day miracle.
Tax Day Miracle. Here's some stuff I just didn't get to this week that I think we need to talk about. My Friday leftovers. Do you ever go for a walk after a big meal?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to me?
No, it's actually good. Like
Okay.
my wife and I, since the weather's been nice, we finish dinner and put the leashes on the dogs and take the dogs for about a mile walk around the subdivision right after we eat. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do, our catching up.
Yeah.
But it's also good for your digestion. So there's a sexy new term for those laps around the block right after a meal. It's called a fart walk.
Oh, yes. I've heard of this.
It's called a fart walk. And this is trending after a 70-year-old cookbook author named Marilyn Smith coined it on TikTok. Here is Marilyn.
About 60 minutes after we've eaten, we put on our running shoes and off we go. Now, why do we do this? Well, we eat a lot of fiber, so we have gas. Everybody does. And, you fart when you walk. So that's why I named it that. But the main reason that we do the fart walks is because by walking for as little as 2 minutes, we usually walk for about 10, 15, 20, but not really quickly. It's more of a moderate walk. We are helping reduce our chances of developing type 2 diabetes. So, sign yourself up for fart walks.
Why is she whispering?
That's
I don't like
Mark
that.
Wahlberg's sister.
She keeps tooting.
Yeah, that was Mark Wahlberg's sister.
Every step she takes, she's tooting.
Going on a far walk, guys.
Yeah, she is
guys. Going on a little far walk today.
Well, when you're farting all the time, it's hard to speak.
Under the fart walk.
Big fan of high fiber meals. She has been going on these regular fart walks to get things moving. Helps with bloating. Plus, walking is just great. Low impact. It's a way to get some exercise. And a GI doctor weighed in and said your fart walks don't need to be that long. Even 5 or 10 minutes could be helpful. Mm-hmm. Quote, when you're moving, your GI tract is also moving. There needs to be motion to help move the food along. And Marilyn is not embarrassed about her fart walks and doesn't think you should be either.
Okay.
She's proud of them.
Thanks, Marilyn.
She does see the humor in forever being known as the fart walk inventor, but hey.
It's a fart walk to remember.
Yep. She wears white Umbros, too.
This was posted on a Reddit forum, and want your opinion on this. This woman writes, so last weekend at the restaurant, this woman is a waitress. Says, a woman tipped me $300, convinced that the rapture was imminent on April the 8th, the eclipse day.
Yeah.
She says, here's where it gets even more bizarre. A couple days later, she returns and tips my coworker a whopping $777.
Right on. Love an apocalypse tip.
Fast forward to today. This is after the eclipse. Mm-hmm. She's back again. Adamant that her tips were somehow fraudulent. And we tampered with them. Her claims of fraud are literally impossible. We bring the card reader to the table, and it's the guest who decides the tip amount by either pressing a preset option or entering a custom one before hitting pay. And that's exactly what she did. So it's physically impossible for us to manipulate the tip amounts. Both my coworker and I have already received our tips with our paychecks, and we obviously have to pay income tax on them. So this woman wants the money back. She thought the world was going to end once the eclipse came, decided to give away all her money, and now it didn't end, and she's back, and she wants her money back. Should she get her money back?
No.
No, she shouldn't get her money back.
She shouldn't, but what would you do in that circumstance? Would you have compassion on this dingleberry, or what would you?
Sorry that you were delusional and you thought it was going to go one way and it didn't, and then you can't take that back because
I thought you were going to say
the world works.
She came back to the restaurant to apply for a job.
Well, that she should.
Quit my job. I gave away all my money.
No, she should not get her money back. Especially since, it already was in your paycheck.
Right.
Yeah, so tax.
You already taxed on it.
Right.
I don't know. What do you do, Rafe?
She paid for a lesson. She learned it. For this low price of $777, you paid for a lesson in.
Now she's up. She's at 1,000 now because it was $300 first and then $777 to the other waitress. So over $1,000 lesson.
She probably changed that server's life, though. That's cool. I mean, that's a huge tip to get. That's rent maybe for a couple months.
So she's back to get the money.
Yeah.
Why can't she the one? Why can't that woman be the one to have the grace?
Right.
Why can't she be the one to say, you know what?
I'll give you money
It's a
back.
mitzvah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess if she would have come back and was honest and said, hey, I really botched that and, could I have a few of those dollars back? Would that be different? But
Well, and also she's demanding and claiming it's fraud.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not
a
the
little
way.
different, too.
That's a little different, too, because now she wants to get them in trouble.
Yeah. Because I'm asking for a friend because somebody went to Applebee's and tipped quite handsomely before
wow.
the rapture. It didn't happen.
Are you serious?
No, I didn't.
No,
could
I
be,
stiffed
though.
them.
Yeah, dude.
You're not going to need
because I didn't
this.
think there were going to be consequences.
Yeah, you didn't need. Nobody's going to need this.
Now I got to go back in that Applebee's. We go there every Friday. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, no takebacks. That's it.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. Sorry.
Okay.
Here's another one. A mother posted, and so you babysat when you were a kid?
Yeah.
A teenager? Mm-hmm. Rafe, you said you babysat a little bit?
Yeah, my whole life.
As a teenager?
Yes.
You did as well. I never was, nobody ever trusted me to watch kids, which is fine. I wouldn't want to watch them anyway.
Okay.
Fine, I'm glad you guys didn't ask. I wouldn't have wanted to do it.
I didn't want to do it either.
But when we required babysitters for our kids, it was usually somebody we knew. We never put out an ad for a babysitter. It was always, a friend's, kid that would watch our, a neighbor's, kid would come down and watch the kids while we were out. So a mom posted an ad in search for a babysitter for her 4 kids. And dude, the mom put out a list of qualifications that this is
Mary Poppins?
she's going to have a difficult time finding the proper person to come watch these kids due to her lengthy and rather irrational list of qualifications. So it says, babysitter needed ASAP. I need somebody to watch my 4 kids, 2, 3, 5, and 7, from noon to 6, Monday through Friday, occasional weekends. So it's 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, maybe some weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So what's 6 times 5? 30. So that's 30 hours a week,
Yeah.
maybe some weekends. You must be a great cook, an avid cleaner. You have to be over 25. Minimum education, master's degree.
Whoa. Okay. Why?
Must not have any social media accounts.
Good luck.
In parentheses, I don't need my kids seeing that. No drinking, no smoking, no vaping. No tattoos or piercings.
Ah.
Need 5 professional references. Background check and drug test will be conducted. The job pays only $200 a week. And the advertisement insisted that the applicant must have their own method of transportation, as they will have to get to the mom's house and run all of her errands. Please call Tammy if interested.
No thanks, Tammy.
Dream.
She will never find a babysitter.
Well, the one that does apply,
meeting these qualifications.
the one who does apply for that one, you got to be worried about.
This is Mrs. Doubtfire applies. It's an old biddy who, is retired, who has a master's degree, who does not know how to work social media, and is on retirement budget, so they don't need more than $200.
Right. You know what? My mind did not go to that immediately.
They're looking for Mrs. Doubtfire.
They are looking for Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mm-hmm.
Or some
$200 a week.
That's good for somebody who's retired,
What?
What?
That's
It
good.
is.
That's not good for anybody.
30 hours a week. No, it's not. But I'm just saying people that are retired are living on a fixed income and any extra.
Or they're
money
just
is
looking
good.
for something to do?
Yeah.
I mean, a box of Depends is like $30 or something.
That's true.
Most daycares charge around $1,500 a month. I mean, while it's certainly reasonable to want to hire somebody, responsible and trustworthy to babysit your kids, requiring them to have a master's degree, banning them from using social media and forcing them to run personal errands. I don't know. It's weird to put in a job description, especially when you aren't even offering a competitive wage. But
It sounds like a great way for a business to get really cheap help. If you are a small business and you have a dog that you have there, you hire someone to take care of your dog, but they have to do all your errands. They have to file some paperwork. They have to clean the office. They have to do all these things.
Yeah.
It's part of the job.
I get the feeling from the way this ad was worded that this wouldn't be the best person to work for either.
What?
Right.
I don't feel like they're going to be happy all the time with your job performance. I feel like you're going to be under critique quite often.
And it's the kind where I think you want to film yourself because this person's definitely going to accuse you of stuff. I would run.
Did it say how old the kid was? Did I miss that?
4 kids. 4 kids.
kids,
4
yeah.
kids.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, geez.
2, 3,
Also 50 a kid. Now it sounds like a better deal.
2, 3, 5, and 7.
Oh,
Cool.
sign me up.
So $50 a kid for the week.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Get the f*** out of here.
Yeah.
Did it say what
This lady's
what town she's in?
No.
She's in Dreamland, USA.
Yeah, it's a nice spot.
According to Care.com, some more appropriate qualities to focus on when selecting a babysitter include enthusiasm, playfulness, responsibility, accountability, professionalism, and CPR and first aid certification.
And
none
are
of
they
that's
hot?
on here.
Hell no. Don't have a phone.
Wow.
And are they hot?
And are they hot?
Right.
Yeah, of course.
That is very
It's
important.
called the Pornhub metric. Has to be taken into account.
You know, kids watching kids is becoming far less common. So a lot of parents, use apps or websites to hire adults now for babysitting because they're worried teens aren't responsible enough. Or even might get distracted and watch TikTok the whole time. I don't know. But somebody asked over 30,000 adults if they think teenage babysitters are more or less trustworthy than 50 years ago. Only 9% said more. Now, for a lot of us, babysitting was a first job. Maybe the first job you ever had. First chance you had an opportunity to make some money.
Could this also be because of helicopter parenting, though? You don't even let your kids go outside. So how do you expect them to act responsibly to watch somebody else's kids? So it's like you have to give them some autonomy to build up some sort of responsibility, ownership of things.
Yeah, I was watching a TikTok last night of this. I guess it was in China. No wonder they're beating us and everything. It's like this little 3-year-old Asian kid had a fire and a hot plate. And he threw like a piece of bread on there, started cooking it in oil, cracked his own egg, fried his own egg, put lettuce, sauced it up, put the egg, made a sandwich, and took it over to somebody. And I was like, man, this kid's cooking on an open fire outside on a griddle.
Right.
And this lady had to be like 3. I'll find it. This kid was like in diapers.
Wow.
And was cooking it. Had the little bowl, put some steam down, put the little bowl over the bread, cooked it up nice. I was like, the sandwich looked good. I was like, I would eat that sandwich. That wasn't like, it didn't look like a little kid made it. Then he took it over to his grandpa and they split it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no wonder they're kicking our ass at everything. Man.
Yeah, but is that because of child labor in China?
No, this kid just was hanging out with his grandpa, learning, being
Lessons.
trusted to do dangerous things in a supervised way.
Or he was packing his lunch to go build iPhones.
That could be that. It could be
Yeah.
that. He's like, I just got off the shift at the
terrible.
iPhone factory. 12 hours. Let me just whip something for granddad.
So we just got to go in the middle of the two extremes, the helicopter parenting and the child labor. Whatever that middle is, can we just be there? That would be great.
I tell you what, I'd rather see your kid outside cooking on an open fire than sitting inside.
Scrolling YouTube shorts.
Not allowed to look at YouTube shorts
Right.
because your $200 a week nanny that apparently is from 1971 with a master's degree for $50 a kid is watching your little dorky kids who can't fend for themselves.
A lot of people, great points. You may be still changing diapers, too.
Oh, they're diaping for sure.
Woo. No thanks.
That's great.
All right, let's do this. All right, that's brought to us by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill, St. Louis's home. For Blues hockey from Fenton, Missouri, Brianna Pill is our Team Rizz member of the day. Brianna is a devout Rizz evangelist, looks forward to hearing what new topics and antics will take place every morning. Her husband is also a Team Rizz member, and she looks forward to rocking her jersey with pride. She loves Lern's female perspective on the show.
Thanks.
And also looks forward to meeting her and seeing her band live someday.
I love you.
When's the next time you guys are playing?
April 27th, Washington Mo at the Alley, 8 p.m.
All right, so Fenton's not that far from Washington.
That's not that bad.
It's right up the road.
Yeah.
Without fail, the Rizz Show can always make her laugh in the morning, and she's so excited to join the prestigious club of Team Rizz. Brianna Pill from Fenton is our Team Rizz member of the day. Get super sweet Team Rizz member of the day soccer jersey. Get yourself signed up 1057thepoint.com/Team Rizz. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and Lern will read the Craigslist Freak of the Week winner for us. We'll shut down the votes for that and also crap on celebrities. It is 7:07 Friday. First look at the traffic and weather. Lern coming at you.
And it's brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The biggest race of 2024 is happening on June 2nd. That is the NASCAR Cup Series. Get your tickets and all the info on the festival at www.traceway.com. EMS is responding to an accident reported on Lee May Ferry just north of Lindbergh. Weather today, we're going to get up to 67. It's going to be sunny and gorgeous. And then the rest of the weekend, highs in the mid-80s and beautiful.
It's supposed to be awesome this
weekend.
weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend. Right now, it's 52 out there at 7:07.
The program phone number 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. The Mick Ultra Studio Cams, 1057thepoint.com/Rizz. The socials at RIZZ Show. Your emails, RizzShow1057thepoint.com. Rafe's in memoriam on the way. Great Friday fail stories today. Comedian Tim Meadows in studio. He'll be at Helium Comedy Club this weekend. Lern and sports.
Yes.
Everybody's looking forward to that. But first, we must crown the official Craigslist Freak of the Week. And of course, thank you, St. Louis, for all your votes. The most important vote you'll cast all year long happens with the Craigslist Freak of the Week. So here's how it all shook out. 3 brand new ads yesterday. One of these ads moving on to the Freak of the Year playoffs. In third place, with 7.4% of your vote, it was nominee number 3, Tom Pedley. And this is the gentleman from Birmingham who wanted to have ladies come drive his Ferrari in high heels. This guy's got something of a possible foot fetish, and he's also imagining the pedal on his Ferrari is his balls. So stomp down hard.
No boots.
No boots, please. He's got PTSD from a bad experience. So Tom Pedley, 7.4% of your vote. Goodbye. All right, your runner-up, and by the way, it was an ass-whooping, as we thought it was going to be. It was an ass-whooping. But this is the nominee that Rafe backed, our runner-up.
It was a dark horse, I'll be honest.
With 11.3% of the vote, it was Tom DeGrady. And if you remember, this was the gentleman who says he's a very powerful person in the city of Sheffield. He would like a tiny woman to come over who's got a high voice and basically spend some time degrading him. He's degrading him. He's going to be naked, make fun of his tiny pee-pee, tell him he's got the worst body you've ever seen.
I thought we could throw a wig on Moon and he could make some money. Honestly. That's what.
Missed opportunity.
Maybe that's where he is.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm in New York, guys. Look, it's a picture of the Ghostbusters firehouse. I swear I'm here.
Yeah, why does
it say Getty Images on it?
Keeps putting New York in quotes. Yeah. Belittle me, shame me, talk to me so badly that I couldn't possibly live with myself anymore. Well, that's Tom DeGrady, the runner-up. Well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your official Craigslist Freak of the Week. With 81.4% of your vote, it was our first nominee yesterday, Saxon Pollock.
Paint me like one of your French girls, man for man, 28 years old, Montreal. I want to paint your scrotum. I'm obsessed with balls and want to make your beanbag my creation. I started out as a face painter at fairs and festivals and soon found out that I had a better canvas to create upon. I'm looking for someone who wants to become the art. I will stretch the wrinkles out of your testicle bag and turn your pouch into the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. This is a huge turn-on for me, and don't think that you're going to go unrewarded. The paint I use is non-toxic and edible. You know it's chow time after we're done. The turn-on for me is consuming the art that I just made. The turn-on for you is that I was a prostitute for 9 years and know my way around your equipment. I will ask to keep your seed. I will use it as an ingredient in my homemade paint. And trust me, there will be plenty that I will play your prostate like a Casio keyboard. 420 friendly, no bug chasers, please.
All right, there you go. Saxon Pollock, our official Craigslist Freak of the Week. Moving on to the Freak of the Year.
It's chow time.
Playoffs. That got me. I missed that line yesterday. Oh, it's chow time.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah. Yum, 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 yum. All right, today is April the 12th, back of the day, 163 years ago in 1861. The Civil War begins when Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Abner Doubleday, the inventor of baseball, fired the first shot in defense of the fort. Speaking of baseball, 97 years ago, 1927, 15 future Hall of Famers were on the field at an opening day game between the Yankees and the Philadelphia Athletics. Ty Cobb, Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, all on the field. Those guys all went 0 for 3, by the way. 79 years ago, 1945, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd president of the United States, died of a cerebral hemorrhage in Warm Springs, Georgia. He was 63. Just 3 months after beginning an unprecedented fourth term in office. FDR was succeeded by anyone? 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 Oh, come on.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, come on.
Hoove?
Wait.
What year? Give me a year.
Come on. Truman.
Oh, of course.
It's Missouri's own.
Missouri's own.
Again, I did not pay attention in high school. I'm an idiot.
69 years ago, 1955, the polio vaccine tested by Jonas Salk was announced to be safe and effective and was given full approval by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. 63 years ago, 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin took a one-orbit, 108-minute ride in a 10,395-pound vehicle, Vostok 1, to become the first man in space. When he landed in his parachute, he was met by a terrified woman on a farm who threatened to attack him with a pitchfork. True. 43 years ago, 1981, heavyweight boxing legend Joe Louis dies at the age of 66. 36 years ago, 1988, Weird Al Yankovic releases his fifth record called...
Wait, what year?
1988.
Truman.
Ooh, Dare to Be Stupid.
Even worse.
Even worse.
That was the first Weird Al record I bought. That had...
Fat.
I Think I'm a Clone Now.
Yeah, which is so good.
I think I'm
La
a
la la
clone
la
now.
lasagna.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
That's
Love
a
that
beautiful
record.
album.
Born in a petri dish. Late one night, they took a human body cell and then they cloned it. Now I say that's why I think I'm a clone now.
Everywhere I look, there's two of me around.
35 years ago, 1989, Garth Brooks puts out his debut record. 35 years ago, same day, Sugar Ray Robinson dies in Culver City, California at the age of 67. Sugar Ray was a 5-time winner of the World Middleweight Boxing Championship. And 31 years ago in 1993, Lisa Bonet divorces Lenny Kravitz. And that's what happened back in the day. All right, time to find out what's going on in the world of music and entertainment with your Grab on Celebrities.
And we start with this. Def Leppard have a new song on the way. Bassist Rick Savage tells Stereo Gum, we have just mastered a one-off single. Playing on it is Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, who was a huge fan back in the day when he was growing up. He says our second album, High and Dry, was like his Bible. He's playing a solo on the new single. It's going to be out there pretty soon.
Wait, say this again?
Def Leppard
Oh, Def Leppard. Okay.
and Tom Morello have teamed up.
Okay, I
There's
just
a new
heard,
single coming out.
I just heard High and Dry, and I thought Radiohead has a song called High and Dry.
Or not, why are you thinking about Radiohead?
I don't know, and I'm thinking
You hate
I missed it.
Radiohead.
I do, and I heard Def Leppard after the fact, and I got confused.
It's okay.
and I was disappointed for a second, but
Now we're okay. We're back on it. Def Leppard is going to release a 40th anniversary edition of Pyromania, numerous configurations on April 26th, and they will start their tour here in St. Louis on July 6th. Five Finger Death Punch's Zoltan Bathory has praised the band's upcoming tour mate, Marilyn Manson, on his sobriety. Here's a little audio of Bathory talking on a podcast earlier about Marilyn Manson.
Okay, Zoltan.
Manson haven't been out on the road for a while, so that's a lot of people want to see him. So obviously it's at one point he was one of the most iconic artists on planet Earth, right? And so so he's back on stage, back in the saddle. That's gonna be amazing. He's also sober and clean, so that's we always gonna support that, obviously.
Sounds like a Zoltan.
Sounds like a Zoltan. The two bands will be here in St. Louis on Saturday, August 10th at Hollywood Casino.
What a cool name! Is that the name from Dude, Where's My Car?
Zoltan?
Maybe.
Hal Sparks played Zoltan, or is it Zoltar?
And I wonder if his
Zoltar was the big.
Big. Okay, yeah.
Someone on eBay is trying to sell a ticket stub from the Damage Plan show where Dimebag Darrell was killed from the Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio.
I saw this. You think it's tacky?
I did it first, and then I thought, well, like we've seen also the bullet that shot John Lennon, or the gun. People buy stuff like this all the time. So yes, it's tacky, but it's also kind of common.
History.
Yeah.
This guy's trying to sell this ticket stub for $15,000. Okay. And this is the show that happened December 8th, 2004. The original ticket was something like $8.
Oh, it was an $8 show?
It was an $8 show. So the ticket is being sold for $15,000. I don't know. If you're a huge Dimebag Darrell fan, I don't know if you'd want that. Like, is a fan buying this, or is somebody who's kind of into murder buying this?
Yeah, like it's morbid, obviously.
Right.
I mean, but I could see that.
I don't know if I'd want it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want the
Well, there's a museum with all those
juju
cars.
that comes with it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
The museum, like the murder museum. Or
yeah,
whatever
so
it
I
is.
could see them wanting.
I could see
something
that.
like that.
$15,000 though. Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
In TV news, Eli and Peyton Manning are sticking with ESPN, keeping Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli. The original content, like Peyton's Place and Eli's Place on ESPN's platforms through 2034.
I love those guys, and I like the dual broadcast, the dual Monday Night Football broadcast, where ESPN runs the Monday Night Football, and then on the other ESPN2 is the Manning brothers. They're Manning cast. I think it's great.
I think it's great too. I
They
don't
seem like nice dudes.
I don't know, obviously, their careers as football players, but I like their personalities.
They were both great football players.
I'm just amazed at the chemistry they have. I don't know.
I think that would be one that would be super disappointed in me if it came out like one of them was like a really bad dude.
Yeah, because they're so great.
Like they're very likable. Like
Yeah.
you know, we could be buds. You know, I could.
Are you saying that you could be friends
I don't know
with
if
the
we'd be
Manning
best
brothers?
friends, but you know,
Add it to the list.
we could be casual acquaintances.
I remember Rafe saying he heard that Peyton leaves a shopping cart on those little islands instead of the racks.
We can't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you found out Peyton Manning was a guy that left carts in the middle of the parking lot, I'd be a little disappointed.
I would be too.
That should be a good sketch. To find out like Peyton Manning did all these like small indecent
small
things.
Nothing
Indecent.
illegal.
Nothing that would get him canceled, but like just to make you look at him differently.
Gosh, a dick.
That would be.
Like, Peyton Manning's like
He's kind of a jerk.
douchebag.
Yeah. In movie news, the Scary Movie franchise, which had 5 releases from the year 2000 through 2013, is being rebooted by Paramount Pictures. So Variety reports, with so much success in recent horror movies like Five Nights at Freddy's and Smile and Megan, Scary Movie's going to have plenty of content to make fun of. I love those stupid
Although
spoofs.
those were Wayans brothers movies.
Yeah, so Marlon Wayans is in it, Sean Wayans, which they're so good. Anna Faris is obviously like the focal point of those movies a lot of times. She plays like the token white chick. But Regina Hall, will all these people be coming back? I don't know, but I look forward to it if they
Those
do.
are fun.
Rihanna has signed to voice the voice of Smurfette and to do some original music for the upcoming Smurfs movie. Paramount announced that the all-star cast will include Nick Offerman, Natasha Lyonne, Dan Levy, James Corden, Octavia Spencer, Kurt Russell, John Goodman, and Rihanna. So she's going to be Smurfette, which I think will be really cute.
Boy, speaking of St. Louis' own John Goodman, I saw a picture of him yesterday online.
Yeah?
He lost 200 pounds, and he's looking good.
Good for him.
Like, he's looking svelte.
What?
And he doesn't. I guess, you know, you're used to seeing Dan Connor from the old Roseanne,
Yeah.
the big
Right.
portly guy. But he doesn't look, in my opinion, you know, like when larger people lose weight quick and they get that, like, weird, what do they call it, like Ozempic head?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look weird.
No, I mean,
need to look
you've
him
seen
up.
Righteous Gemstones, right?
Yeah.
He looks. There's some of those scenes where he still looks like he could knock the tar out of you. Like he looks really good.
healthy.
Yeah.
Good. But John Goodman's one of those bigger guys that I love. Like in my head, like I love him big though.
You want to try to wrap your
Well,
arms
that-
around
yeah,
him?
like
There's no
I
way you
feel-
could. There's
He's
no
one of
way
the
you
great
could.
dads of America.
Like he's a bear or something.
He was one of the great dads, man, for sure.
Well, he will be in the new Smurfs movie, which will be out on February 14th in 2025. South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone are working on a live-action comedy with Kendrick Lamar. Paramount film chief Brian Robbins told a crowd at a recent meeting gathering that this script is one of the funniest and most original scripts that they've ever read, and it's certain to create some fireworks when it hits theaters in July of 2025. No title yet for it.
I'm excited for that.
This is interesting, and I'm kind of into it. I don't have Spotify. I'm an Apple Music girl. But Spotify is planning to introduce a new feature that will let its users remix songs. It'll only be available at the subscription level of Super Premium that's not out yet, so you'll be paying top dollar for this. But for legal and financial reasons, the remixes will not be able to be shared on apps like TikTok and Instagram. There's no word if this feature's going to come out soon or, you know, it might be a couple months, might be a year. But this is kind of cool. If you are somebody who likes
On a
to remix music and you maybe want to get started in that, this might be a cool platform for you to start.
Okay.
In theaters and streaming this weekend, Civil War is a movie that's out starring Kirsten Dunst and Nick Offerman. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, the remake, is out. New albums.
Oh, there's no way that's good. Every trailer, I gotta look. At
Nicole
the
Richie plays Rose. I'm right on top of that, Rose. I love Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, the original. Christina Applegate just nails it. That whole family is good.
All right, so Civil War
Yeah.
has 84% on the tomatoes.
Okay.
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. What do you think?
Oh, man, like 45.
73%.
What?
Wow. Is that better than
Nice.
the
That's
original?
better than, no audience score yet, but that's better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. This new Nick Cage horror film's getting good
Yeah,
reviews.
86% on the tomatoes. Sasquatch Sunset, which looks pretty.
Arcadian? The
Yeah.
new Nick Cage?
The Sasquatch Sunset movie, which is
Oh, yeah, it's what's his face from, what is his name?
Jesse
looks-
Eisenberg.
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
looks wild. That's getting 80%.
Whoa. Watching the Nick Cage trailer right now. This looks rad.
New albums out from Blue Oyster Cult, Mark Knopfler, you got Riley Green, Tyler Hubbard, all sorts of new albums out. So go support our record stores this weekend. And that is your crap on celebrities.
All right, today's crappy birthday is actually celebrity celebrating a birthday this weekend. Today, Brandon Urie from
Panic at the Disco.
he turns 37. Claire Danes from Homeland.
My So-Called Life.
My So-Called Life is 45. Shannon Doherty is 53. Nick Hexum from
311.
3.
is 54. Art Alexakis from
Oh,
come on.
hang
Come
on. They just
Come on.
Everclear.
Everclear. Art Alexakis is 62 today. Vince Gill, who gets to kiss Amy Grant goodnight every night, is 67.
Lucky guy.
David Letterman is
80?
Cool.
I'm going to say 82.
77.
77.
Ed O'Neill
Love Ed O'Neill.
from Modern Family, Married with Children. He is 78 today. On Saturday, Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philly, who's Dennis. He is 48. Staines Aaron Lewis turns 52. Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons turns 54. Ron Perlman, Clay from Sons of Anarchy. And Beauty and the Beast,
I
right?
love Ron Perlman.
Yeah, dude. And
TV
Hellboy.
show. And Hellboy, he's 74 on Saturday. The Reverend Al Green, superstar soul singer, Let's Stay Together, is 78 on Saturday. And on Sunday, remember the little girl from Little Miss Sunshine?
I love her. Abigail Breslin.
She turns 28.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
She's so cute in that movie. And it's crazy to think of her as an adult now.
She's almost
How-
30.
She's still
How old was Al Green?
in film.
He turns 78 on Saturday.
Whoa. That's wild to think that David Letterman and Al Green are approximately the same age. That doesn't seem right to me.
Why? You think Al Green should be older?
He seems like...
I feel.
Yeah,
I agree.
He just seems like he's from a different time. He's lived two very full lives.
Back to Ed O'Neill for just one second. Christina Applegate has a new podcast out where she talks about having MS, and it's pretty good. She says Ed O'Neill calls her almost every day, and they talk.
That's sweet.
Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
That's sweet. He's is he a jiu-jitsu black belt? I don't
Yeah.
know. I think he's a black
so.
belt in jiu-jitsu. He was
There's a bunch of crazy facts about him.
like before he got into acting, he was like a muscle guy for like the mob.
All right. Well, he almost was. He had to make a decision.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into crime or acting? And he went into acting.
I think he did beat up some people.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman for University of Ohio.
He's badass.
Pittsburgh almost played for the Pittsburgh Steelers
Wow.
before he pursued. It's wild, dude.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is 47. Anthony Michael Hall, 16 Candles, Weird Science, The Breakfast Club, Rusty from the original Vacation movie. Anthony Michael Hall is 56. Brad Garrett, Robert Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond, 6'8". He is 64. And Pete Rose, WWE Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
is 83 on Sunday. Today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet, is Reagan Fox. And today's birthday girl has been in 601 fun films, including Whoops, Accidentally Lesbian 4, Big Booty Mamas, Different Wives, Different Lives, Gazongas 2, Is It Wrong She's My Stepmom 2, Let's Bang the Babysitter 6, Pimp My Wife 3, She's Older and Bolder, and Who Could Forget a Role in 2018's panty-sniffing stepdaughter. Reagan Fox is 54 years old. That's your porno birthday. Those are your crappy birthdays, and that was your crap on celebrities. All right, up next, Rafe Williams and the E Memoriam.
Oh, already.
It's that time.
Better write it.
After that, we'll get into your Friday fail stories. It is 7:37. It is Friday. Traffic and weather. Lern coming at you.
And it's brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway, the Confluence Music Festival with Ludacris, Riley Green, and more, and the NASCAR Cup Series, June 1st and 2nd. Get your tickets at www.raceway.com. Nothing to report on the roadways. Weather today, high of 67 and sunny. Rest of the weekend, mid-80s. Right now, gorgeous. It's 51 out there.
Welcome back to the program. Tim Meadows will be here, the ladies' man himself.
Yes.
Who Courtney down the hall reminded me was in a classic SNL sketch about OJ.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Like, it was him and Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell was playing Marv Levy, who was the former Bills coach. And Tim Meadows was playing OJ. And he's on the telestrator, you know, when you draw the lines on football plays. Kind of breaking it down, and it said, I did it.
Yeah. But he circles, like, everything says, like, the D's are little circles with the line. Yeah, that was so funny.
See if we could push out a...
This has one glove on.
Yeah, he's got one glove on.
There's other ones missing.
That's hilarious.
See if we can push that out on the socials.
All right.
11 o'clock today, a live number 2 show with Rafe Williams.
And Lern Elwell, who will be joining me as a co-host today because our topic is going to be all things Wiccan and the eclipse. And so call in at 818-532-1420. Leave us a message, 818-532-1420, or you can call in live during the show. But I'd like to have some pre-records to talk about. So please call in, leave a message. We're talking everything. Do you believe in signs, omens? Have you ever had your palm read? Has any prognostication ever come true?
Have you been saged during an eclipse?
Have you been saged? Do you want to be saged? Whatever the topic is, if it is related to astrology or omens or something in your life coming true, and or if you just want to be a dick about it and call in and say that you don't believe in any of that stuff,
you know
that's fine.
I'm actually going to be reading fortunes on the number 2 show with people calling in.
Really?
If you want. Yeah, I'm in.
All right. I didn't know that. Good. She's going to read your fortune.
I'll tell you your future.
Just remember, after the number 1 show today, it's a number 2 show at 11 o'clock.
That's right.
And you call in.
Call in and talk to both of us live at 818-532-1420. Call in now or leave us you can leave us a written message through the Point app. Just go to the text box, hit number 2 show in the drop down, and leave us a message.
When I got home yesterday, true story, my wife says, did you tell St. Louis that I saged you during the eclipse?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. And she said, did you tell St. Louis I didn't appreciate you playing Dark Side of the Moon during the eclipse? I said, yeah. I said, no lies were told.
Did you say, are you listening to the podcast? Because that was Tuesday. She said this to you yesterday?
Yesterday.
She's a day behind.
No, I think some of her friends tell her.
Oh.
That is nice.
Did you tell St. Louis I saged you?
Maybe.
Said, yeah,
I got yelled at too by my husband, just since we're sharing, because when you guys made me answer the questions, the sack of truth yesterday, and it was either lose your sexual organs or gain 200 pounds. So I would weigh 325 pounds, and I said I would gain the weight. And then somebody asked, would Tim leave you? And I said yes. And I said because.
No one asked that. You offered that up.
He also, because he said.
I think I may have asked that.
He said that if I were taller than him, we would have never dated. This is like iconic Tim Elwell lore here, okay? And so I said, yeah, I bet if I could take you, you wouldn't have dated me. You know, like
if you could beat him up?
If I could beat him up because I'm 325 pounds and 5'3", I think he'd be afraid. So yeah, so I got yelled at as well.
He was upset that you said that he'd leave you?
Yeah.
But that's nice, though, to learn that he'd actually stick with you.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he said that.
He didn't say
I don't think he said
He's
that.
just mad you said it.
Yeah, he's mad you said it. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Okay.
Well, I'll add him to this real quick.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this week's
Tim Elwell's sense of loyalty, officially added to the E Memoriam. Those of you that don't know, the E Memoriam is a weekly segment we do on Friday to say goodbye to people we lost this week, either through comments we made, opinions we shared, some stuff just crazy guano crazy that you guys email us in that we didn't even we didn't provocate at all, and that's okay. We love you too, and we're happy to see you go. So let's say goodbye to those we lost this week, much like the Oscar style in memoriam. It's the in memoriam, and let's start with the big story at the top of the hour today, at the top of the show. O.J. Simpson lovers. Apparently, there's still a few out there. We upset a couple closeted O.J. Simpson fans this week. Who knew the guy still had fans? For once, we used the Rizz Show curse for good when King Scott mentioned O.J. Simpson on Tuesday during a segment about an exhibit at the Rawlings Glove Museum dedicated to the juice. While the joke in the moment flopped harder than Kato Kalin in a rent-free guest house, just 24 hours later, that very same horrible joke brought more ass to the table than all of Robert Kardashian's children. That's right. A King Scott joke that picked up about as much steam as a low-speed chase in a white Bronco came back with a vengeance and dropped the heat hotter than 5 big Albanian asses right on top of Orenthal James Simpson. King Scott, the Grim Reaper. And the just right hand of the Rizz Show. Death Curse delivered the final tackle on OJ. And it brought so much joy to the world that even the Dancing Edos came out of retirement to celebrate.
Whoa, the Dancing Edos.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. Trust me, these references are on point, but probably only 9 people get them.
Mid-90s references, all right.
But if that bothers you, be careful. He may mention you next. Bye-bye. Next up, Portal People.
Don't cross that guy.
Don't cross this guy. He is the Grim Reaper of the Rizz Show. The just right hand. Next up, Portal People. We upset a few tinfoil hatters when we made fun of folks who thought the eclipse was going to open up an interdimensional portal and usher in a new era, when we said that the only portal it would open up would be a direct conduit to the psychiatric unit at Barnes Jewish Hospital. Oopsie. We hate to lose you guys, but good news is, as you walk out the door and leave us, you will materialize right here back in studio for this broadcast. So, goodbye and hello.
Hi.
Cybertruck drivers.
Oh, boy.
We lost a couple fans of Cybertrucks this week when we said your little rolling Legos look lame AF in real life. Sorry that you had to find out from us that you're driving an $80,000 Minecraft roller skate. We hate to lose you, but we know you won't get out of our broadcast range because your little Glade plug-in truck only gets 250 miles of charge. Bye-bye.
Your Glade plug-in truck.
Brian P., weed advocate for children.
Wow.
Loyal listener Brian P. got upset this week when we sided with a listener who emailed us that didn't love that their neighbor's house smelled like a weed grow house because they have children. And Brian said we should, quote, stop sheltering kids from it. You don't do it with alcohol, brother. Sorry, dude. Sorry we don't want to open a Cheech and Chong's family daycare center, Brian. We can be pro-weed without advocating for Fisher-Price baby bongs, my man. So we say goodbye to you. Or at least we would, because we know you took a big fat rip and forgot you sent that email altogether. And finally, this one's going to hurt somebody in the room. We lost a big swath of people this week, and we have to say goodbye to fat, tall, single moms.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Goodbye, fat, tall, single moms. Senator Scott Rizzuto really cleaned house this week when he made one. Ex-Senator Scott Rizzuto recently cleaned house this week when he made one point unequivocally clear and needing no context whatsoever, so don't go look it up, that he indeed loathes and detests fat people, tall people, and single mothers. And if you're a fat, tall, single mom, he believes you should be rounded up and kicked out of what he calls, quote, his perfect America, end quote.
Yeah, right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
I'm number one with that audience.
Now, we here in the studio were as shocked and appalled as anyone to hear a future presidential hopeful spewing hate and vitriol at such a vulnerable membership of our society. We'd like to iterate that we here in studio and at Hubbard do not condone nor share the ex-senator from Wildwood's sentiment that fat, tall, single moms are, quote, piles of garbage that need to be put into a landfill, end quote.
Wow, you said that.
I said all that?
Dude,
when?
I think you blacked out, man. Now, we hate to lose any of our valuable, full-bodied, long-torsoed, working solo mothers over this callous comments by Scott Rizzuto, but he doesn't seem to be worried about it because he said we could easily win you back by luring you in with the, quote, all-you-can-eat buffet where bastard children over 6 feet tall eat for free. That's crazy.
It's a good deal.
All-you-can-eat buffet where bastard children over 6 feet tall eat for free. Again,
Was this
Scott
Wednesday's
Rizzuto's
show?
words, not mine.
Was this on Wednesday's show?
This was on
yeah,
Wednesday's
that was
show.
Wednesday.
It'll be easy to find. That's the title of the podcast.
Oh.
Scott Rizzuto hates fat people is the title of the podcast. Everybody woke up in the afternoon from their naps to see the Spotify notification of Scott Rizzuto hates fat people.
well.
New episode uploaded.
Whatever gets you listening.
Yeah.
I'm not
Once
going to
again-
own this.
Once again.
I'm not going to own this.
Once again. Future two-term president,
Yes.
Scott Rizzuto.
Yeah, please don't look up
Don't look it up.
the comments for context.
No
at
context
all.
needed.
Jeez.
He says bye-bye to all you lanky single mom fatties out there. Bye-bye. Honorable mentions this week to carnies, your valuable members of society. Sorry we said otherwise. Tampon deniers. You know who you are. Thank you notes. Enough of that. Trust me. We don't want to do it anymore. Stop sending thank you notes after we go to your wedding. Just end it. Rainforest Cafe, you know your days are numbered. Undercover Ass Caulk Unit, that's Ass Caulk Unit.
Yeah.
You're just as valuable as anybody else on the police force, even though all your job is to go undercover and stop people from injecting caulk into asses in hotel rooms in L.A. And Aikido Senseis. Sorry that we said that Steven Seagal's trade of death was just one level above typo. And now, real RIPs this week. Wallflowers guitarist Michael Ward, Oki Bono Taro, brother of Sonny Bono, an 11-time grand champion sumo wrestler. Well, don't look it up. 11-time grand champion sumo wrestler died of heart failure at 54 years old. Peter Higgs of the Higgs boson CERN. What is that thing called? The atom splitter?
Hadron Collider.
Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
Particle splitter.
Particle
Black
splitter.
hole
He
opener.
passed away this week as well, and I believe we mentioned him early in the week.
Yeah, that could be my fault.
I think we got Peter and OJ
Show.
this week. And finally, of course, Orenthal J. Simpson, beloved football player for the Buffalo Bills, who has, and American sweetheart, who has any kind of controversy
Right.
attached to his name.
No, I just remember him from the Hertz commercials.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Just
Naked Gun, right?
Rushing for his car.
that's right. Well,
Running through an
R.I.P.
airport.
to those four, and that concludes this week's A Memory.
Thank you, Rafe. Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
All right. Didn't time out like I liked, but that's fine. All right. Your Friday fail stories are up after the break. We got some great ones for you today. We'll end on a real doozy.
Okay.
All right. Straight up 8 o'clock. Friday, traffic and weather. Learn coming at you.
And it's brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The Confluence Music Festival with Ludacris, Riley Green, and more will be happening June 1st and 2nd, as well as the NASCAR Cup Series. Tickets available now at www.raceway.com. Nothing to report, really. It's just pretty normal out there, but there is debris in the roadway of eastbound 370 at Highway 94, so the right lane is closed due to that. Your high today of weather, 67, sunny like you see right now, 42 as the low. The weekend is awesome in the mid-80s, and it's 51 at 8 o'clock.
All right, folks, time for your Friday fail story. Yeah! So, all these people thought they had the perfect plan, but my God, somewhere along the line, that perfect plan became an Uber, an Ultra, dare I say,
Oh, I dare you.
mega. Yep, here we go. Man, you came in hot there.
That was.
Well, who's not here? I felt like I needed to step up.
You did.
Yep.
Friday Fail Stories, sponsored by...
It is sponsored by Mort's Royce Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Rizzuto
Well,
Show.
here we go. Friday Fail Stories. We'll start with this. Back on January 27th, a bystander witnessed a guy named Rashud Scott rob a couple at a gas station in Houston at gunpoint. The bystander shot and killed Rashid as he attempted to get away. Well, turns out the whole robbery was staged. So the couple were being robbed, and this Rashid guy, they were working together. They were faking this robbery so they could file a report with the police and use their crime victim status to apply for a U non-immigration status visa. With this kind of visa, you could stay in the country while waiting for a resolution for a court case.
Loophole. Interesting.
So cops got a couple text messages between Rashid and the couple planning the whole thing out on the night of the staged robbery. One message said something like, "Run away to make it look real." So this was a scam that Rashid and another guy were running dating back to last year to help people illegally get visas to stay in the country. Well, now he's dead.
Failed.
Man.
Yeah. Whoops.
Hey, great idea, right?
I guess so. Here's an immigration attorney talking about it.
The person qualifies for a work permit while they are waiting for a resolution of the case. So they say, okay, so what would happen if somebody beat me up or if I was a victim of domestic violence? People don't realize the big mess they're getting into by lying and making things up.
Well, now a person's dead. Way to go.
What a bummer.
A thief stole money from a baseball team's swear jar. 34-year-old guy from Pennsylvania.
Where did this happen? Pleasantville?
This is Pennsylvania. Kyle Good was just arrested for stealing from the Lancaster Stormers back in 2021. Now, the Stormers, then known as the Barnstormers, play at Clipper Magazine Stadium in Lancaster, and they reported multiple items missing, including a digital projector, an Alexa smart speaker, the team manager's Bluetooth speaker, and around $200 from the team's swear jar.
Potty mouths.
Now, the thief also snagged the team CFO's credit card and attempted to make multiple charges, but all of them were declined except for a $26 cab ride. It wasn't hard to pin it on this Kalal guy. He worked for the team at the time, and there's security footage of him taking everything. He was originally charged back in 2022, but he's apparently spent the last 2 years on the run. Finally arrested last week in New York and being extradited back to Lancaster.
Failed.
So if you watch enough movies, it may seem reasonable to, quote, fake your own death to get out of any problems you're dealing with.
Yes.
But there's a lot more to it than never being seen again. So a 39-year-old guy in Kentucky, Jesse Kiff, has just admitted to attempting to fake his own death. And he gave it a lot of effort. He accessed the Hawaii death registry system using the details of a doctor living in another state and created a case for his own death. He assigned himself as the medical certifier for his own death and then certified it. Amazingly, that did work at first. He was listed as deceased in many government databases. And the police say he was primarily faking his death to get out of paying child support, $100K in child support to his ex. Now, I don't know how
Dad of the year?
I don't know how he was caught, but it sounds like he got a little too hack-happy. He was also accused of fraud for opening bank accounts with a false Social Security number. And he also hacked into businesses and government and corporate networks with information he stole from others and attempted to sell the access to the networks online. Now, he could have been sent to prison for 30-plus years. He agreed to a plea deal to serve 7 years, pay $500,000 in fines, plus restitution. He'll be sentenced later this week.
Failed.
Glad he's still here.
Yeah, maybe it was a slippery slope, but if you just faked your own death, you might want to avoid attracting attention to yourself.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah, that's not wise.
I'd tell this guy, don't quit your day job, but he doesn't have one now. A museum in Germany announced they had to fire an employee after he hung up one of his own paintings in their modern art section. I kind of appreciate this.
Yeah, this is good.
No way.
Respect for that.
This is how you get further along in your career.
He's 51, described as a former technician at the museum. The city was hoping it might help him break through as an artist. So it happened on February 23rd. He went in after hours and hung the 4-foot painting on an empty wall alongside works by people like Andy Warhol. They haven't said much else or if his painting was any good because I looked for a picture. I couldn't see it. Couldn't find it, at least. They're not commented because they don't want to encourage other people to try it. He did get some exposure. They noticed it midday, but decided to wait until they closed to take it down. So it was part of the exhibit for a full 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But all they've said is the painting got no positive feedback from visitors. So he had to drill 2 small holes in the wall to hang it, so on top of losing his job, he could face charges for property damage.
Failed.
This is good.
Wow, dude, they taped a banana to the wall like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Every
Art.
day.
You just don't get it.
This is art. This
Art's
is like the
subjective,
Banksy
man.
kind of art.
I mean, I get it. It wasn't curated by the museum, but kudos to this guy.
I hope it does break out.
That's
where
not a
his-
fail to me.
No, that's
I'm
a
gonna be
win.
honest. That's
He
a-
lost his job,
National
though.
Press.
So what?
He's going to sell this painting for a lot.
For one day, he bucket listed himself. He's like, my bucket list is to be an artist in a gallery, and he
did it.
He did it. He didn't wait for.
He did it.
He didn't wait for permission.
And I did the same thing at the St. Louis
He
Art
declared
Museum
himself an artist.
in Forest
I
Park there.
respect the
I
hell out of him
declare.
for it.
56-year-old Roger Forrester lives in the Villages in Florida. But he was in Long Island, New York on Monday when he got into a high-speed chase with the cops. They responded to a domestic incident after he allegedly went to his ex-wife's work and slashed her tires. He took off in his Chevy Malibu rental car. Cops eventually caught up with him. A helicopter also joined the pursuit. He drove back and forth on a highway for about 40 minutes, hit speeds over 100 miles an hour, but then nowhere to go. So he apparently just decided to Thelma and Louise it. Drove off a 50-foot cliff.
Whoa.
Did he have a bonnet on?
Police say he never hit the brakes or slowed down, blew through a wood guardrail, ramped off a bluff, and went airborne. He lived. His car landed in the Long Island Sound in about 4 feet of water. He survived. Officers dove in, pulled him out. He said he was sore, but no serious injuries.
Holy crow.
Looks like the airbags probably saved him. He'll be facing a whole heap of charges now.
But
Failed.
he has that experience. That's an intrusive thought that we've all had. I'm just going to drive off this cliff.
And he did.
And
he did it and lived.
That's
He's like,
wild.
I'm screwed. I'm ending it. They took him to the hospital, and then they checked him out, and he went to jail.
Okay.
Whoops. And here I thought with this next story here, I thought Canadians were supposed to be polite. Cops near Toronto got a call on Saturday about a break-in. Person stole jewelry, clothing, sunglasses, prescription meds. They also left something behind. A big old dump. Homeowners walked into their bathroom and found a, quote, large bowel movement in the toilet. So the burglar used their bathroom and didn't even have the courtesy to flush. So it's not clear if they flushed it before police could collect a DNA sample, but it turned out they didn't need one. 3 days later, cops spotted a 22-year-old woman walking around in the victim's clothes.
Ooh.
So a woman
Took
did
the
it.
dump.
A woman
We do
took
poop, you guys.
a
This is breaking
huge
news.
dump and didn't flush. She's facing charges for breaking and entering and possessing stolen property.
Failed.
All right, 2 more. A woman from Tulsa was arrested after she claimed that the stolen SUV she was driving was a birthday tip from a Waffle House customer. Look up the mugshot of Angela Harrison. See if you can find that, Scott. Angela Harrison. Look up Angela Harrison, Tulsa, Waffle House. I want to see if you could put it on the big screen.
Okay, let's see here.
See if you can put it on the big screen for the for the fine folks here in the studio to see. Get up there. All right, Scott. How old is
That's exactly what I was
39.
How old is Angela?
I was like, she's going to have bitter beer face. I know it.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
I'm going to say.
She's got some good hair, though. She's looking all right.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
That lip is just a shelf for a cigarette.
That's a 52-year-old.
That's true.
Angela Harrison is 53. but looks 75.
Dude, that's what I'm going to look like in about a couple more years doing this show. So
She looks
I
like
hope you're
bitter
ready
to your
for
face.
this every morning.
She's been charged with possession of a stolen vehicle. Now, back on April 1st, cops got an alert about a stolen white Jeep Liberty. They pulled Angela over. She said that she was at a gas station about an hour earlier, ran into a former customer of hers when she worked at the Waffle House. She said the guy gave her $10 cash in the Jeep Liberty because her 53rd birthday was coming up, which is very nice of him. However, cops said the Jeep was reported stolen before Christmas. And in fact, they actually have pictures of Angela in the car from January 14th. Now, she admitted, yes, that's her in the picture, but she couldn't explain how she could have been in the picture and possession of the car in January when she was gifted the car only an hour earlier. The car went back to its owner. Angela was arrested. None of it makes sense. And speaking of cars, here we go. A 52-year-old guy in North Carolina, Walter McRae, has finally been arrested after he had a years-long affair with a woman's 2008 Toyota Avalon.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, it was a case of mechanophilia, a sexual attraction to machines or vehicles. The victim was an 82-year-old woman. She said several years ago she started noticing strange fluids on and under her car. So she took it in, and the mechanic said it appeared that someone was doing something to the vehicle. So those fluids weren't oil or gas. They were several types of human fluids. She tried to put up cameras to see what was happening, but the perp would always move the cameras. Eventually, the police put up their own surveillance equipment, and he was finally nabbed after he had a date night with the car this past Sunday. After the arrest, the woman said she didn't recognize the man. He was hit with more than 10 charges, including felony stalking, damage to property, and tampering with a vehicle. Yep.
Failed.
Here's the owner of the car, and she's explaining how the police caught the guy.
They caught him on camera. They came Monday morning, and they took the films out, and they come back to the door and said, we got him this time. She said, we got good films, we got good pictures, but it was more than we really wanted to see, so.
Yeah.
Whoa, have you seen that Avalon? That's a nice
It's a sexy
looking-
car.
Whoa. Yeah.
I mean, an 08
That
an
trunk
08
on that.
Toyota Avalon.
That was the best model.
Ooh.
Got beautiful airbags.
Try to keep your hands off it.
The suspension is sexy.
I think the Avalon should be arrested for being too sexy.
Yeah, me too.
The car tasked me. Tasked me. All right, those are your Friday fail stories. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Lern's got sports. And Rafe will read us some emails.
I got a few.
Couple, 2, 3 emails.
I got a few.
All right, it's 8:24. It is Friday. Traffic and weather. Lern coming at you.
And it's brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway, the Confluence Music Festival with Luda, Riley Green, and more. And the NASCAR Cup Series is June 1st and 2nd. Tickets available right now at www.raceway.com. EMS responding to an accident reported at Winsville Parkway and Westmeyer Road. Your weather today, 67 and sunny, low of 42 tonight. Tomorrow and Sunday, mid-80s and sunny. Right now, it's 53 out there at 8:24.
Class a week, 15. Just had that Friday fail story about the guy who was busted making love to a 2008 Toyota Avalon. Rafe, what car would you make love to?
Damn, probably a Fiero. I've always been into pocket gals, so it'd probably be a small car. Little Pontiac Fiero, probably like a, I don't know, 92. Black.
I pictured you a more of a Ford Fiesta guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Eric,
either that or I'm gonna go for like a Lincoln Continental.
Ooh, a classy one.
Long, tall drink of water. You know?
Yes.
Lern's going to get
Maybe a rag top
with a Ford F-250.
Hell no. I'm getting with Spicoli's van from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
I've been I might be vanning here soon. I might be getting a little old school van. with an orange and
That
black
would be
and
so
white
cool.
racing stripe down the side.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, with the
it's all
shag
blacked
carpet.
out.
I can't picture you driving a van.
I know, but I want it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'd bang an El Camino just for the story.
But you know Steve Urkel's car? That little Mercedes that you open from the very front?
It's in St. Louis.
It is?
Yeah,
That's
there's
the
a
one.
car?
right on Kings Highway. There's a Mercedes dealership next to Uncle Bill's, and they have Steve Urkel's Urkel car.
No way.
in it.
All right,
They
well,
have
I guess
that,
my
like,
dreams
the
can
car
come
from the
true.
show?
Yes, it's
My,
cool.
Go bang
my dreams
that.
coming
Cool.
true today.
Watch out.
Yeah, go bang
that guy's a cool dude too. He'll let you come in. They got all kinds of like
Wow, that's
Mercedes
awesome.
nostalgia.
It doesn't bang on the first
merchandise.
date, though.
Oh,
You got,
dang
yeah,
it.
Take it
dinner
out.
first. You can't be
You
greedy.
got to take it out.
It will drop a pencil and bend over in front of you and say, "Did I do that?" It's just kinda hot.
Hey, today, guys, is National Grilled Cheese Day.
Okay.
Way to go. Yeah, tell the vegans on the show.
Oh, stop it.
He knows what he's doing.
So hateful,
Just because you
man.
guys are dumb doesn't mean that all of us have to suffer.
We are dumb.
We are dumb, but I feel great.
It's National Grilled Cheese Day, which is perfect because it's Friday and there's no need to cook anything any more involved. Some random grilled cheese related fun that's floating around the interwebs. No one knows exactly how old the grilled cheese sandwich is. Every year, grilled cheese just likes to say it's turning 29.
Yeah, why not?
But one of the earliest references to melted cheese sandwiches is featured in Sarah Tyson Rohr's Mrs. Rohr's New Cookbook from the year 1902. The French were the first to make it a thing in 1910 when restaurants started adding the croque monsieur.
Oh, yes.
What is it? The croque monsieur?
The croque
What is this?
monsieur.
A grilled cheese? We should make this a thing. And then ratatouille.
Which is not just grilled cheese; it also has ham.
Hot ham and cheese? Shut
Croque
your
monsieur.
mouth. Delicious.
You're one step away from a chicken cordon bleu, my man.
Just batter it, bread it, and deep fry it, huh?
All you need. You're getting closer.
New research says the average American adult eats 36 grilled cheeses a year. If you're thinking that's crazy, I haven't had a single grilled cheese since the COVID lockdown in 2020, you're not alone. But you also don't have kids. The average of 36 includes parents with kids who eat a lot of like grilled cheeses a year.
Let's go through this.
Parents eat them too because they aren't in the mood to make another meal. So they'll have a grilled cheese as well.
Give me the Rizzuto recipe for how you make a grilled cheese.
Oh, dude, I love grilled cheese.
Tell us.
Love grilled cheese. So usually we'd have around, so my wife, the kids like the sourdough bread.
Yeah.
So I'll do 2 pieces of sourdough.
Thin slice.
Probably thicker cut.
Okay.
So I toast both sides of the bread,
Yes, me too.
not just one side. No, I'm like the inside too.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so
I know.
And when you know. Why toast just the outside when you could toast both sides?
I've always done both.
Oh, have you?
But
Yeah.
do you do butter or oil?
Butter.
Okay, good.
Butter.
Salted? Unsalted.
I usually have unsalted butter.
Same.
In the house. Now, some people will put mayo on the outside too.
These people are sad.
They will put mayo. A lot of restaurants do that actually.
Pretty
Really?
tasty.
Mayo, they put mayo on the, like they'll put a thin layer of mayo on the outside of it. Says it helps, but I'm not a mayo guy.
I'm not into that. I am a mayo guy, and I'm not into that.
What
So-
does it help?
It helps make it look
Keep it-
better and make it
Just to
crispier.
crisp it.
Well,
There's an argument to
Yeah.
be made.
There's
there.
listen, I get it.
it's
So
good.
unsalted butter, you melt it in the pan first, and then you put you flop the
But
two sides.
but here's
of
what
the
I do.
Bread.
I don't put it on like a high heat, like medium max.
Right.
Hold on. We got to back up. You guys do butter the bread, right?
This is what I do.
Yeah.
I melt a bunch of butter in the pan,
I'll
and
put
then
butter
I
in the pan first.
flip it over.
But you don't just throw dry bread into the butter in the pan. You put it on the bread, correct?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I put the butter in the pan first, melt that, and then I do kind of like French toast style with the bread. Flip it over, get both sides toasted, put the cheese on.
We're 15 steps ahead.
I'm sorry.
We've already gone too far. I'm talking about how we should have the flame, which is like a medium, maybe even just lower than medium.
Right.
Like you don't want to put like on,
Really
you don't want to
annoying.
put it on high heat because then you're going to burn the butter and it's not going to get toasted
And the cheese not going to melt.
and the cheese not going to melt.
Right.
Dang.
So I'll put a good amount of butter in there. And then I'll put the first piece of bread down. I usually like to almost like saturate the bread with the butter that's already melted in there.
Yes.
Butter dredge.
And then I'll go, if I have American cheese at home, I'll do American cheese. Cheddar, yes, but I will shred the cheddar. I will shred the cheddar. Dude, if I have provolone at home,
Watch out.
Low melting point.
put provolone in there too.
It's a good grilled cheese.
I love the
lower
multiple
melting
cheese.
point.
Swiss, I'll do. Sometimes I'll do a tomato. I'll put a sliced tomato in there.
Well,
Colby Jack.
I'll do or pepper jack. If I got bacon,
I love fancy cheeses in that.
If I got bacon, I'll put bacon in there.
Blue cheese.
Blue
Big
cheese.
Blue cheese crumble grilled cheese guy.
Actually, it sounds good.
But man, you can't rush it. You can't rush it.
That's
You got to
what
let
people
it.
have
What do you?
That's where
what do
people
you
screw
pair
up.
it with? Are you a tomato soup?
No,
guy?
I'm not doing tomato soup.
Oh,
That gives
you're
me,
way
It gives
ahead.
me heartburn.
You're pairing it now. We haven't even gotten it out of the pan yet.
Okay,
dude.
okay.
Slow down, brother.
So you got to make sure it's
Slow down.
it's good and cooked. Yeah. Before you flip. That's why you can't rush it. That's why you can't put that flame on high. You got to make love to it. You got to like go slow.
Slow and easy. White snake.
Slow and easy.
But you're in a hurry.
I'm not in a hurry.
Oh.
If I'm gonna have a grilled cheese, I'm gonna do it right.
Here's the thing, though. And we've skipped past this part, so I want to mention it. You butter the bread on both sides. Put it face down. You also saturate. You flip.
I will
You
flip.
let it cook. You flip. Then you put the cheese on
Yes.
the hot side.
Right.
Yes.
While the other side is getting hot.
Yes, I may have to put a little more butter in too.
You may. But it
Always.
speeds up the melting process without sacrificing the integrity of the sandwich.
I agree.
That's important.
And if the pan's big enough, I'll put the 2 slices and then assemble.
Yeah, I feel like I work at Waffle House and I do that.
We have to.
Yeah.
So then you throw the other bread in.
Yeah. And then we'll put the cheese on.
Then you flip.
Then we flip, and then just get it nice, toasted on the other side.
And the fourth bread surface is the final thing you cook.
Yep.
And if you're really good at what you do, you sear it on the sides.
Yeah.
You pick it up with tongs. And
We could do that. Yeah. Then we're really getting.
Well, that's the best because then you get that burnt cheese.
Yeah, we could do that too. Now, how are we cutting our sandwich? Are we cutting it half, like down the middle, or are we cutting diagonal?
Diagonal
Gotta go
always.
triangles, baby.
We're making triangles?
Yep.
Yeah, you have to.
It's only a Christian thing to do with that.
I'll be honest with you, I do make rectangles. I cut down the middle.
Sometimes I'll make little halvesies sandwiches.
America is divided, though, on the way to cut the sandwich. 52% cut them in half diagonally, while 21% cut them half vertically. 10% cut them in half horizontally. 17% don't cut them at all.
Savages. Those
Whoa.
people. I'm just going to eat this straight up.
You guys
That's
ever go
wild.
Texas toast?
Oh, yeah.
If I have it.
I had some Hawaiian bread Texas toast and
Yummy.
game changer.
There are
sounds
several fun grilled cheese moments in pop culture, but Gen Xers will think of the movie Benny and June, where Johnny Depp's character makes a stack of grilled cheese sandwiches using a clothes iron. Most people just make grilled cheeses in a pan or cast iron skillet, but some people use a toaster oven or even a panini press.
Or even a hotel iron.
9% use an air fryer because, well, what can't you do with an air fryer?
I've made a few on the Foreman back
yeah,
in the
if you're
day.
on a time crunch, don't sleep on the Foreman grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Foreman goes great if you have one still.
You're cooking from both sides, baby.
All right, well, happy National Grilled Cheese Day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Lern's got sports here in a second, and we were talking earlier this week, maybe it was yesterday, about Cardinal attendance at that Tuesday night game.
Yeah, incredible attendance. Yeah.
It was the lowest
Oh.
attended Cardinal night game in the history of the new Busch Stadium. Headline Fox 2, Cardinals attendance drops to historic low during first homestand. So it wasn't just that one game. Sonny Gray's St. Louis debut drew the smallest attendance for a Cardinal night game in the history of Busch Stadium 3. That mark does not include games affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 and 2021, but rather the games that the Cardinals had an opportunity to pack a sold-out crowd. Gray, the team's biggest offseason addition, made his first Cardinal start as the team hosted the Philadelphia Phillies on Tuesday evening. First homestand of the season. The reported attendance from Tuesday was 31,972. Tuesday's reported attendance is the lowest for a Cardinal night game in nearly 2 decades at Busch Stadium, the 4th lowest in stadium history. Yeah, it's not great. That's not. Now, the point here is, what is attendance at a game counted as? BaseballReference.com defines attendance as, quote, typically tickets sold in home games.
So not exactly people checking in?
It's not people there.
I see.
Because is that also the season ticket holders, all that stuff are included?
Guess so.
Tickets sold, yes. So like Wednesday, the day game, you guys were there.
Yeah.
The attendance was definitely not 30,000, was it?
It didn't look
looking
like
at it.
No, I mean, nobody was in their seats. So they were all huddled up underneath cover.
Nah, there's no way.
But it was reported as over 30,000.
Maybe tickets bought.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. It's tickets sold.
I don't think that many people came.
It's tickets sold. That's how they calculate attendance.
Okay.
Not through the gates, but tickets sold.
I like their ability to do that. It's kind of like the magazine thing back in the day. Whenever they have subscriptions, they give you free ones just so they could say
it's in circulation.
Yeah, we got a ton.
Yeah, that's why every once in a while you get like a free magazine in the mail. Like we never signed up to get People magazine, but yet we get People magazine every week.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
I get guideposts,
and they'll give you free magazines just to say in circulation, like to pad their numbers.
I got a subscription to Vogue for Christmas, and I was pretty excited about that.
Well, here's sports. Lern taking a drink of water. Here we go.
Sports is brought to you by DraftKings at Casino Queen. Call to book your bracket bash watch parties at DraftKings Sportsbook now. All right, guys, we talked to Kerber on Wednesday, and now I'm going to talk to you about the Blues. The player to watch tonight on the ice is going to be Zach Bolduc, number 76. This guy has 3 points over his last 2 games, including 2 goals and 1 assist. Incredible. He's a rookie forward, and it has even posted a plus or an even rating of 17 of his first 22 NHL games. Rizz, as you know, the Blues have the ability to catch up with Vegas in the first tiebreaker with regulation wins. Right now, the Blues sit with 30 while Vegas has 32. There's 3 games left. If you do the sports math, that means with 3 more regulation wins, the Blues could reach 95 points and 33 regulations. So cool. The Blues take on the Carolina Hurricanes tonight at 7 o'clock.
So they need to win out. And they need some help.
They need 3 more wins.
Well, they're 3. I think they're 3 points out from the last wild card spot. And,
yes,
and Vegas has it. So
it could happen.
The maths, but they need some help.
Let's go back to Busch Stadium. Lars Nootbaar has been activated from the injured list. Pedro Pages has been optioned to Memphis AAA. Cardinals are 6-7 on the season so far, with a percentage of .462% with the GB of 3.0. The game time is at 8:40 as the Cardinals are in Arizona playing the Diamondbacks. Guys, big news. Federal authorities say Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter stole $16 million from the baseball superstar. Look. There's paperwork that was filed on Thursday, and it finds that Ippei Mizuhara was accused of bank fraud, which means if he's convicted, he would be fined $1 million and spend up to 30 years in prison. Get this. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada said, I want to emphasize this point. Mr. Ohtani is considered a victim in this case. Mr. Mizuhara used and abused the portion of trust in order to plunder Mr. Ohtani's bank account to the tune of $16 million, end quote.
Did you see how much money this dude was betting?
Yes. He won $142 million, but he ended up losing $183 million.
What?
And it wasn't
won
his
132, but lost 140 something. Damn, right?
Damn is right.
My goodness.
Guys, City SC, St. Louis, playing Austin at City Place, City Park. The win probability right now for St. Louis is 57%. The draw will be 23%. UFL this week, we are at San Antonio Brahmas. That's going to happen on Sunday at 2 o'clock our time in San Antonio, Texas at the Alamo Dome. In football, Dallas police have issued a warrant for Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. He's wanted for his involvement in a March 30th crash, allegedly driving a Lambo at a high rate of speed before losing control of the car and then crashing into 4 other vehicles. He and another driver who was in a Corvette at the time, have been charged with one count of aggravated assault, 1 count of collision involving serious bodily injury, and 6 counts of collision involving injury each. The Masters are on, but nobody's watching. But if you wanted to know about where that green jacket came from, it's been around since 1934. Sam Snead won it in 1949, and there were rules to follow. Only one current champion can wear the green jacket in public at one time. The others remain in champions' locker rooms at Augusta National until they can be worn for special ceremonies, which I find very strange. I'm your sports director on the Rizz Show when Moon is out. I'm Lern, and this is the Rizzuto Show.
All right, there you go. Thank you so much.
Station identification.
Is our guest here? Oh, so Tim Meadows in the house. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Tim Meadows. All right. Oh, somebody said to make love to a VW bug with fake eyelashes.
It's a little...
Or like a... Yeah, maybe like a Ford Tempo with a headlight bra.
Oh, I did say that. Jared reminds me. Remember, Rizz, to quote yourself, the grilled cheese is the booty call of sandwiches. Oh, yeah. You up?
Yeah.
I am now.
Yeah, like you're sitting on the couch. You go, ooh, I got a hankering for something. You up?
That's nice.
You did okay with the pronunciations. You're close enough with a lot of these pronunciations. Good job.
Thanks for the criticism. Thanks. High fives all around.
I was complimenting.
Oh.
I would have a tough time with some of those like Japanese names.
Yeah. I did
High five.
okay? Oh, cool. I don't know. Sometimes you're too critical and I just...
How am I too critical? Tim Meadows is in the hallway.
I know. I wanted to come in here. I'm excited.
All right, 8:53, traffic and weather. Lern, who's been doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so
Traffic and weather
much.
coming at you.
Worldwide Technology Raceway sponsors the Confluence Music Festival with Ludacris, Riley Green, and more is happening alongside the NASCAR Cup Series June 1st and 2nd. Tickets available at www.raceway.com. 2-vehicle crash on southbound 170 at Brentwood Boulevard. The 2 left lanes are closed there. High of 67 and sunny today. 42 is the overnight low. Weekend is awesome, mid-80s, and right now it's 52 at 8:53.
Talking about my soft testicles.
That's impressive. Very impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Meadows joins us.
Wait, I don't hear. I hear hand clapping.
I clapped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're all.
All right.
Yeah, there's an audience. You don't see them.
They're in another room.
They're invisible.
Oh, great.
There's a two-way mirror, whatever
It's
they're
an
called.
invisible audience. You don't see them.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back to the program. It's been a couple years since you've been here.
Yeah.
This will be your 3rd time on the Rizz Show. Congratulations.
Thanks.
A Third Timers Club new member.
That's all right.
Amongst us.
Do I get a gift or a jacket?
No. If you look behind you, you see that sequin jacket?
Yeah.
That's the 5-timers jacket.
Oh. So when I come 2 more times.
2 more times, that could
I
be
get that
yours.
beautiful red sequin jacket.
No, yes, you do get something for being a 3rd-timer, Tim. You get a 3rd-timer certificate. Congratulations.
Whoa. I got way too excited for this.
Yeah.
I love that excitement.
That was pure joy right there. That really got me.
This is the 2nd thing I've ever won or been given. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, 3rd. This is the 3rd thing that I have. That I'm going to hang this. I'm going to frame it.
Oh, please do.
Hang it up.
Please do.
First thing I ever won was I coached my son's basketball team for the Boys and Girls Club, and we won the championship. And I got a medal, a little gold medal for coaching that. So
And it is the greatest day of my life.
it was the great. I told the kids, I said, this is the first thing I've ever won, and so I'm as happy as you are.
Oh.
It was really cool.
So you coach your son's basketball team, or you coached?
Yes, I coached them for 1 year.
Did you volunteer, or did somebody volunteer you?
I volunteered because the Boys and Girls Club called because both kids played like a few seasons. And then they said they didn't have anybody to coach his team this year. And so I was like, I travel a lot, and I lived in Chicago at the time. So I was like, I guess I can do it because I had like a window of about a month where I was just there. And then I did. I took it seriously. I never coached basketball.
So I said, do you
before.
know enough about basketball to coach basketball?
No. But what I did was I just thought of all of the stuff that I knew, which is I know how basketball plays work.
Yeah.
So I said we played 4 men or 4 boys, And I just set up 4 plays that I taught them, one for each position. So the guard play was, each guard, each position had to play. And when I would call it, only when they seemed like they didn't know what to do or they were running around just trying to score.
Yeah.
I would go, number one. And that meant the guard takes it out at the top. Everybody else get the heck out of the way. Because this little kid was great. He was just fast, unbelievably quick guard. I forget his name. It'll come to me in a second.
Was it cool to be in the gymnasium, pacing the side?
Yes.
Pacing the side?
I got into it with the ref.
Yeah, right.
With one of the refs one time, this kid. It's like, he called a foul on my team, and I was like, it wasn't a foul, and it was a backcourt foul. And he goes, you don't even know what kind of foul. And I go, it's a backcourt foul, you idiot.
Oh, man.
And then he goes, you can't talk to me that. And I was like, okay, you're right, sir. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize to this kid. It was a kid. He was like 15, 16 years old.
They're having a tough time finding refs to do pretty much every sport now. I know up at, if you go up to Soccer Park, there's like signs all over the place like, hey, please be respectful to the refs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're
taking abuse.
People are afraid.
People are. It's a lot of anger out there. A lot of
anger.
Mm-hmm. And if they can, but I handled it right. I didn't escalate it, and because I realized my kids are here. My son has seen me get angry at people enough in his life.
You want to provide it. You're an example.
I'm an example
for the youth. Yes. It's a boys' club event.
Yes.
Did you ever slam your clipboard on the ground?
Didn't slam it on the ground. I think the angriest I got was that one time. And I didn't have a clipboard. It was the Boys and Girls Club. So I had I had a legal pad because I'm a writer. That was the only thing I had.
Yellow?
Yes, yellow legal pad.
Yeah, with a red
and
pen.
occasionally I would take it and I wouldn't even draw things. I would just write play harder or defense or whatever. But it was fun. We got to the championship. We were 6-2. 6-2. The 2 games we lost, I wasn't there for. One of the other parents coached. And then he called me after the loss, and I go, what happened? And he goes, I don't know. They just didn't play the same. I really don't know because I don't know how basketball works. And I was like, well, why did you volunteer to coach if you don't even know how the game works,
Look at you taking a ragtag bunch of kids and
took them all the way to the championship.
All the way to the championship.
And my son, during the championship, they came to the game and they came in sweaty. And I asked them, like, what were you doing before? And they were like, oh, we were playing basketball in the alley. And I'm like, no, you're playing basketball right now. You're playing a championship, like, for the thing right now. And so they started off the game. They were really not doing great. I took a couple of good kids out and put one of the scrubs kids in. I hope that kids don't hear this, me calling them a scrub.
We are worldwide.
Did you give an inspirational speech?
Scrub, get in.
Did you have one?
You wrote it on a legal pad. Scrub, get in.
Did you have one of those, Kurt Russell miracle?
He's like Gene
speeches?
Hackman in Hoosiers, dude. You're Gene Hackman in this scenario.
My son just started getting hot after a certain point. Like I said, I took some of the kids out, put one of the kids who didn't play that well in. And then my son got hot, stole the ball, took it down court, scored. And I was like, yes, And then I just kept, I didn't give him any inspirational speeches at all. I just kept going, you got to do this for me.
Yeah. Don't make me look bad.
Don't make me, do it for the coach.
I'm a famous person. Don't make me look bad.
Yeah. But it was
never won anything.
I've never been given anything. But I got to say, it was like a highlight of my life. Seriously. And I tell my son, who's in college now, like occasionally, during quiet moments, I'll go, remember that basketball game, that championship game?
So cute.
Well, that was a great bonding, awesome. Father-son moment.
Yeah. And after the game, because he brought us back into that game. And I never tried to treat him more special because he was a really good player, but there were other kids on the team that were better than him. But he just got hot. And I told him, we got in the car after the game and everything, and I was driving him back home, and I just go, hey, you won that game for us. You did this. You got hot, and I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
And he was just like, Thanks, Dad. Thanks. I was just like, you got to know.
Yeah.
You got to know that you won that game for us because he got everybody else into it and stuff. Anyways, I'm really proud of my kid.
Well, we're all
That's
proud of you,
awesome,
Tim
man.
Meadows.
Yeah, thank you.
You did a good job.
Champion.
Number
Thank
2.
you.
Tim Meadows.
Number 2.
Tim Meadows, champion.
4.
Hey,
I like that you broke it down that way. It was cool.
Anyway, so this is my third thing. And I'm very
and listen, that
Congratulations.
That's the
five-timer
second.
jacket, I believe Nikki Glazer's got it.
Oh, wow.
Ben Bailey's got it.
nice.
Who else has it?
Someone
Steve-O?
No, who's the metal guy came in?
Jim Florentine.
Jim Florentine.
Jim
I never remember his
Florentine,
name.
yes.
Jim Florentine.
So it's decent company out there.
Maybe Tim Meadows in the future. Not sure. Let's see how this goes first.
Yeah, no future presidents in that group of.
You don't think
Winners.
Florentine's going to run?
No.
It's interesting.
No, hey, with OJ passing, or everybody finding out that OJ died yesterday, you have been making the rounds on the social medias
Yeah, I've seen that.
with that old SNL skit from 1995.
I did it.
I just have a little piece of it here.
Okay, well, let's go to the telestrator now.
It's you as OJ with one glove on.
We didn't miss any beats.
You missed no, and Will Ferrell is playing Marv Levy, who was the Bills coach at the time.
Offense has been using a lot this year. Now, you lined up your halfback right behind your quarterback. Your tight end has been running a curl
And it's the
pattern. Now, when Kelly
telestrator.
fakes play action, the defense is frozen, allowing your wide open to be open on the other side, opening a hole in the middle and a seam on the left.
Now, I know you can't see it on the radio, but it's you right, I did it.
Yes. As
On
I'm
the
describing the
telestrator. And Will Ferrell's face is
Oh my God.
Is
priceless.
yeah.
Is shocked.
That
Illustrated now.
And that was going on during the trial, right?
yeah, I think that was like right after the verdict. Like somewhere it was very close to it. I don't exactly remember. I just remember the reaction of the audience. And if you play like you listen to it now, it's not a laugh that the audience is they're going like there's like an awareness. The audience is going like you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not laughing. They're like clapping. Like you're saying what we all thought.
I gotta go. Well, I'll just watch from a distance, all right?
OJ, why don't you just come right out and say it?
All right. It hurts to admit this, but live from New York.
Yeah.
Great.
So good.
Oh, that must have been right around the verdict time, or being that it was the cold open.
Yeah. I think, and if I remember correctly, Robert Smigel, I think, wrote that. Who was he was a big time. He's a great writer on SNL. But he was just writing the cartoon segments during that period.
Yeah. The
But he
TV
wrote-
Funhouse stuff, yeah.
Yeah, TV Funhouse. But he wrote that sketch, and I remember because it was everybody was waiting to see what we were going to do about it, you know, and the reaction from the audience, like I said, it wasn't a laugh. It was like this, like just thank you, thank you for saying it, you know, and that, and I've never experienced that before or since, like doing comedy or anything live. You know?
It's amazing though, because back then, and I'm not sure now if it's the same way, but we waited for what SNL was going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was part, like SNL was such a part of the zeitgeist.
Like, is it okay to laugh about things that are heavy?
There's that, but something would happen, and you would say, because I mean, I was a junior in high school when that was out, and you go, I can't wait to see what SNL is going to do on Saturday.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah, I'm still like that with SNL. I'm like looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. But yeah, it was a trip, man. That whole period was wild. And I just remember Robert Smigel, like we're like running the change. It's all quick changes and stuff, you know, to get ready for the next sketch. And Robert Smigel, like when I was in my quick change area, he like reached over and kissed me on the forehead. He goes, thank you for doing that.
Because that was done perfectly.
Thank you. It was done. It was really done. The show was great. He's a great writer, and I was just lucky enough that he wrote it for me and let me do it. You know? But I think that he was happy that I said yes to doing it because we were presented with some different sketches by different writers that week because it was everybody knew we were going to be watching. I think maybe Al Franken had written a sketch and had an idea, and they asked me and a couple other cast members like, which one do you think represents, what you feel about the OJ verdict? And I think it was more like African American cast people and writers, and I was like, that's it, the football one, yeah, because the other one was like, if I remember correctly, it was like the white writers and cast people sitting around watching the verdict, and they were all crying. And then me and Ellen Cleghorn and I think Chris Rock or somebody, we're all like, yeah, like they're like, I can't believe it, and we're like, yeah, I know, right? OJ, that's amazing. Yeah. Like we interpret their crying as like laughing, and I was like, I don't see it that way because I was
like tears of joy.
Yes, the tears exactly. But I was like, I didn't see it that way. I thought I agreed with, I thought there was a miscarriage of justice, you know, and that a lot of innocent people, we can relive all that stuff again, but I just felt like, man, I want to do something funny. I don't want to do something where people are like, think that I think OJ should have gotten. And that was perfectly perfectly done. Yeah. And that's coming from, I was a huge OJ fan before the murder.
Sure. Better football player than human.
Listen, before OJ, for a running back to make 1,000 yards was a big deal, a season. Yeah. He did 2,000 yards in one season. And that was unheard of.
In 14 games.
Yes.
A 14-game season.
Yes. Yeah. And so during that period, he was, he was an amazing personality and everything.
Oh, the Hertz commercials.
Yes. I wrote a fan letter to OJ when I was a kid and got one of those, like, mimeographed sort of return things. Yeah. It's like, thanks for writing. And here's the things I love about football. And
sign juice. Sign the juice.
Yeah. But
do you think the Buffalo Bills will wear an OJ patch?
They... I don't think so.
I don't think so under their uniform.
I haven't been to the Bills Stadium, but I don't even think they have anything of OJ,
Well, we were talking earlier in the show, like he was at a couple games.
Yeah, they still rolled out the red carpet for him. Like he'd be in the luxury box, like yours truly. He'd be doing he was doing TikToks in the Bills luxury box last year.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be missed.
Yes,
he will.
Yes, he certainly will be missed. What was the quote from Brad Williams?
OJ has to be sleeping so well knowing that his wife's killer is dead.
Right. That was that was the best message I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
On social media.
Well, I talked about it a little bit last night, and
by the way, Tim Meadows is at Helium Comedy Club this weekend.
Yes. And I just thought, during the day, I thought, what would, if Norm was around, Norm Macdonald, what would he say or whatever? And last night on stage, I said, well, it's ironic that, and I hope I say it correctly again, it's ironic that OJ died this way because he was actually murdered, too, by cancer.
You want to hear some Norm? Because I did play some Norm earlier. Here's Norm Macdonald with some jokes that he used to tell about OJ while behind the desk at Weekend Update, which NBC was none too pleased about at the time. Here's Norm.
Well, let's get to OJ. OJ Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind OJ of how much more killing he still has to do.
Just watching you, are you going back to these moments?
Yeah, I remember that stuff, and just Norm was just relentless.
Relentless.
And also fearless, And we didn't he caught the brunt of the stuff from NBC, and I did OJ stuff every week in sketches, and there was never anything on me of you're being too mean or you're making OJ too whatever, But he caught the brunt of it because I think it was just him talking directly to the camera.
Right, there's something about Weekend Update.
Yeah, it's his opinion. You think it's his opinion or whatever.
But would he talk about that at all? Like, hey, man, because it was Don Ohlmeyer, who was the West Coast president of NBC, who was friends with OJ.
Yeah.
And apparently, and always the rumor was it was the directive, like, hey, Norm, back off on the OJ jokes. And he didn't care. He just do them.
Yeah. I mean, I only heard it as everybody else did, which was after it all came out. Because I didn't really get involved or listen to, like, stuff in the office on SNL. I was just like, unless it has something to do with me. But, yeah, he just didn't like OJ. You know what I mean? Like, he just didn't like him. And I think even though I didn't like what had happened, I, at some point, was a fan of OJ's.
Right.
So I think our perspectives were a little bit different, you know. But, no, we never talked about, like, hey, are you doing something like, we never talked about what we were going to be doing that week about OJ or whatever. It was all very separate.
And Weekend Update was his own thing.
Was his own thing, yes.
And he had his, it was Norm and the writers for Weekend Update. Jim Downey and Norm and Steve Corrin basically wrote Update back then. And we would all throw in jokes, but if he was told not to do it, wasn't it still on the teleprompter or cue cards?
Yeah.
So it had to be cleared by. Did Lorne Michaels look at any of that stuff?
I don't know.
That was my. If he was told not to do it, from who?
Well, it came, as I remember, it came from the West Coast. So they were asking, to not be so rough on OJ or whatever. But I don't think they ever said, like, you can't do stuff about OJ. I don't think that ever happened. I don't think that they would have. I don't think Lauren would have let that happen. I don't think Lauren would have been like, yeah, okay, we just won't talk about that. So yeah, and I only heard indirectly that OJ had watched the early stuff that I had done and thought it was funny.
Oh, so OJ did see the I Did It sketch?
He saw the early stuff that
I'm gonna kill that guy.
And but I wasn't like, when I heard, I wasn't like, oh great, he loves it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just like freaked out that he even watched it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they have, TV in prison. I guess that's cool. He gets TV rights, early in his, I thought you had to earn that, like in prison.
Oh, here's
You guys are looking around the room like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I've been to prison. Here's more Norm.
I've been to jail.
It was revealed this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, there it is, I've been looking all over for that thing. In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that. Tomorrow, Judge Lancito will take O.J. and the jury on a tour of the now famous crime scene. For the jury, it will be their first look at the actual location. Of course, for O.J., it will be just a case of been there, done that.
Dude, relentless. Like, relentless.
It's
one after another.
Those weren't all on the same show, were they? Those are from different episodes.
Yeah. But I think the last three are all together.
Okay, yeah.
He was the best.
Yeah.
That
OJ was the best.
Yes, O.J.
I
Simpson.
like it.
He will be missed. His birthday was earlier this week, was Steven Seagal's birthday. And we were chatting about Steven Seagal, and he's always been known as the worst ever, never to be invited back host of Saturday Night Live. And that was your first year.
It was my first year?
91?
Yeah, I guess so. Man, that was my second year. I started, I don't remember. What time is it?
It's
too early.
9:24.
It's not 24.
You're making me go too far back too early.
So that was 1991. So, all right, so maybe your first or second year.
Yeah.
And yes, known as the worst ever host of Saturday Night Live. Mastering the art of Aikido.
Yeah.
Which is the joke of the, and listen, I don't want to face a master of anything.
Yeah.
But in the karate disciplines, the martial arts disciplines, not held in very high esteem.
Right.
I believe we said it was one level above Taibo yesterday.
That was the quote.
To quote our show.
As a black belt in Muay Thai, I really
Muay
respect
Thai?
it. Yeah, I really respect it. It's a great art.
Yeah. So, do you remember at all that week with Steven Seagal as the host? I mean, we're going back a long time. I'm asking you to remember a long, long time ago. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember much. It wasn't a great week. And it was, he was not a funny person, which, like you watch people like athletes who aren't necessarily known to be funny, but they can come on and be funny because they have
charisma.
Yeah, or they have a good side to them, But he just didn't have that. He was just very much who you see on the movie screen. Very quiet, talk very slowly, listens and thinks everything that he says is very important.
Right, and from what I hear, he'd never seen the show. Had no idea at all about sketch comedy.
Wow.
I remember he went, like in the monologue, he played the guitar or something because he said he could play the guitar.
Yeah.
And the band, he played with the band, and it was just I don't even say horrible. It's not even a good word. It just was like, why are we watching this? Like, nobody ever said, like, I wonder if Steven Seagal can play guitar.
Yeah.
Right.
No one's ever said that.
Nobody
He put
ever
out
said
like
that.
a reggae album.
Oh, man.
And he did the full Jamaican patois, Chet Hanks accent in it.
Well,
it's out there. It's on Spotify.
Yeah, man. He was just like, and so like wasn't fun. He wasn't funny. Like I said, like it's just so wonderful when you discover somebody is funny. Like Michael Jordan was funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he understood, if I do this or say this as me, this is funny. Like the Stuart Smalley sketch he did, where he was like, look into the mirror and say, repeat after me. I don't have to bounce the ball very hard or shoot the ball through the, hoop. And Michael Jordan said that line and started to laugh because it was really funny to see him. But you know what I mean? Like he knows Steven Seagal had none of it. He had none of that. Like not even like he just
couldn't be
didn't get anything.
self-deprecating.
Yes.
Had zero charisma.
And so one of the things he wanted to do, like coming into the show, was like we wrote a bunch of sketches. We tried, and then on Thursday when everything is already written, and he said that he wanted to do something about the climate change and Greenpeace.
The famous sketch.
And so he basically forced the writers to write this sketch where he was like a guy who was like a Greenpeace activist who knew karate or something, and he would go and like fight, people polluting the environment.
He fought Exxon corporate. Like he went into the boardroom and threw Exxon corporate out windows.
Yeah, what you guys are doing in here is wrong. It was that kind of sketch. I'm going to show you. Just like okay, and then he threw some stunt people around the room
and his own stunt people. He brought his own stunt people in,
and then. And then I think at the end of the scene, he turns to the camera and says something like, "The Earth is important," or something like that.
Like a real thing?
Yeah, like a real thing.
It was like, "This is why you don't mess with the environment."
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh jeez. Good effort, but not the thing we needed.
It's so bad.
Yeah. And that was written like on a Thursday or Friday just to make him happy.
Oh man.
And we were just like, yeah. And like when you're in the middle of a shipwreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just go, okay, well, we got to get through it. Lauren always used to say, "Where's another show next week?" And we just put on the show that we have this week. And
what's amazing about that is that he didn't see like, all right, this is going to go bad, that we're just going to cancel. Like this is just not going to work out. But
Lauren?
Yeah.
No, I kind of feel like
at that point.
I can't speak for Mr. Michaels, but I think there's a part of him too that just wanted to see a train wreck. Yeah. It's like, all right, let's see this thing.
Yeah, let's do this week.
Yeah. Like it's so cringeworthy. Like, all right, fine, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Would that happen often with hosts that would come to SNL that things like that would happen where
No.
you would have to appease them?
No.
Hosts at a time?
No.
Usually
good.
people are excited to be there.
People are excited. Young people are excited to be there. The athletes are, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
And they'll do it 1,000 times because they practice. They're used to, like getting it right and taking direction and learning how to do something better. I think athletes are the best hosts.
Wayne
Most fun for
Gretzky was
me.
great. I don't know if you were there.
Joe Montana was great. People I worked with, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, they were really funny. And Travis Kelce, hosted a couple last year or whatever.
Yeah, he was great.
I thought he was one of the best hosts I'd seen on that show.
Peyton Manning.
Wow.
Peyton Manning is great. Yeah. But those guys are. I always love that because you kind of know what to expect with actors and actresses and comedians and stuff. They sort of know what they're doing and they know how to be funny. They know how to work their instrument.
Well, it's also seeing somebody out of their element.
Yeah, it's like seeing a child curse.
Right. Well, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, out of his element, that could possibly fail at something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's see him maybe not the best at something.
Right.
That's a reason to tune in too.
The last time, the things I loved about the Michael Jordan show, and if you ever get time, audience, go back and watch it, was that they were like little things that were just so funny to me. Like in the Harlem Globetrotter sketch, when they had this, where Phil Hartman is like, look, we're talking about thinking about kicking you off the team. Michael Jordan is like this great basketball player in the Harlem Globe, on the Washington Generals. And then he goes, oh, the team is against you. And then Jordan looks at Spade and he goes, you, Petey? And he goes, and every time I see it, it makes me laugh to see Michael Jordan go to Spade. You too, Petey? I thought it was funny. And then the other thing I loved was the Michael Jordan pornography. Michael Jordan, because he goes in the monologue, he goes, yeah, I've done a lot of commercials, as you all know. There's some commercials that I've done, but we sort of got rid of it or whatever. And here, we're going to show you a couple. One was Michael Jordan brand pornography. And it was like, if you want good pornography, Michael Jordan's pornography is the best. But he went down to 42nd Street, which was like then was like a heavy duty strip club.
That's where the peep shows were. And, Times Square back then wasn't what it is now.
Yeah. And then later that day, I was rehearsing with him and he goes, Tim, have you ever been to 42nd Street down there? And I go, yeah, I've sort of been down. And he goes, I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. And it was like he never seen that kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was genuinely surprised by it.
Like, holy cow, do you see what they got down, right down the street?
Yeah.
That's
Impressive.
wild. All right, so you're in the new Mean Girls musical.
Yeah.
And I was reading that you and Tina Fey, I don't know, I want to say that you were reluctant to be in it, but there was one caveat to you being, and you and Tina both being in the movie.
Yeah.
If that's true or not.
It's true.
What was that?
I didn't want to sing or dance. That was to be in a musical,
Right.
you may ask
I get
yourselves. But I said I don't want to sing or dance, and I don't want to be in a scene where they sing or dance unless it's at the beginning or the end of a scene. So, because that means if I'm in the scene while they're singing and dancing, I got to stay there all day and watch them sing and dance all day. And so that was the only thing. I was just like,
very smart.
Very good.
But man, I'm a veteran in this business.
That's playing chess. You're thinking 3 moves ahead.
Yeah. And so you'll see it like I'm in one song. I'm in 2 songs. But one song, I'm at the beginning when she's running through the hallway. And I'm just going, stop that. And then but I just walk off.
Right.
I just walk off to the
And you're gone.
I'm gone. I'm out of my trailer. That's where the principal is. He's having coffee in his trailer during that song. But yeah, I just don't want to sing or dance because I know it's not my thing. Like I can sing decently. I'm a decent singer. But I cannot dance. I don't like dancing. I don't know why people do it.
Oh, that's a shame. I love to dance. Like at the club, not like in a line or anything. But
Okay, good, yeah.
But the fact to be in a major motion picture and to go, listen, I'll be in your major motion picture, but I will not sing or dance or even be around it.
Yeah, I don't want it anywhere near me.
I would
It's
love if
basically
they wrote around it for you, too. Like you're in the middle of a dance scene and you just crawl under the desk. And then it's over and you crawl back out like nothing happened and just continue with the scene.
I was hoping that, like, my phone would ring or something. That was like they're singing, and I would get my phone and just go, I got to take this.
Yeah.
And go, while you guys do this number.
Oh, by the way, you got a whole bunch of people reminding me that, yes, Michael Jordan did fail at something, baseball.
Oh, he didn't fail as much as he was just below average. But I guarantee he would have gotten better at it if he just stuck with it.
Sure.
Plus, that was the best thing that happened to that team, dude. Like the Bulls he played for, was it Durham or Raleigh? Can't remember, but whatever team he played for, he bought him a new bus because he wanted to travel in comfort. Jordan, dude. He bought him they got a state-of-the-art facility. They were traveling around with a brand new double-decker bus.
You remember what the rumor there was, and he did address it in the dance. Was the gambling thing? Like they, were going to suspend. They couldn't suspend the top player in the NBA. So he'll pretend he retires, go down and play baseball for a little bit, and we'll bring him back. That was the rumor.
I don't know, because it seems to me that that's what they will want. That would be the biggest story in the world. The best player in the sport has been gambling, and that to me is a bigger story than let's hide it. You know what I mean? I don't think they would do that. I think they would.
Yeah, but the NBA didn't want that kind of heat.
I don't know.
Listen, I don't know. He talked about it in that dance documentary, so he denied it. So I got to take his word for it.
I don't know. I just think that because the other thing too, if that was true and they were like, let's hide, then it's the cover up that's the bigger sin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If it does come out.
Yeah, if it comes,
there's too many moving parts for it to be. Too many people would have to be involved for somebody not to talk about it.
Whenever I hear conspiracies like that, I always think of the other side. Like, why? There's another answer to why people think that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't go in for that stuff. Like, right? I always sort of question it. I'm skeptical of everything.
Yeah, me too.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
All right, so hey, listen. So you are in a new movie, Christmas movie with Lindsay Lohan, by the way, which is coming out at some point. It's a Netflix thing.
Yep.
Pretty good cast on that one.
It's a good cast. We had a lot of fun. It was another job that I had demands on. I was like, my demands on this was I don't want to do any exterior snow stuff. So if you think I'm going to be walking in a Christmas movie, I don't want to be cold. Don't want to be cold.
I get it.
And I'm not wearing sweaters.
What?
On interior, I'm not wearing sweaters. Even when we're doing interior shots, because
sweat.
They put you in. We're shooting in what was it, March or something in Atlanta, and I'm just like, it's gonna be hot, so I'm not gonna wear some big ugly Christmas sweater because you think it's gotta look like I'm cold. So now I read the scripts. And I think, what would an asshole do? Sorry. You can bleep me if you need to.
What would an a-hole do?
What would an a-hole do?
How can I make everybody's life difficult?
Just a little bit more difficult. Not a lot, just a little.
Hey, listen, you're a big movie star. You've been doing this a long time, man.
You know what I've seen recently that you were in
demands.
that I loved? Dream Scenario.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I really enjoyed that movie. It was so odd and cool and so different. And I wasn't expecting, like, all of a sudden you're in the, and I'm like, this is awesome. This is a new Nick Cage movie, Dream Scenario. It came out last year.
It's really good.
Excellent.
You have to see it. It's okay. It's a trippy Nick Cage movie. It's funny. It's weird. It's a comment on social media and fame. And he starts to appear in people's dreams randomly. And like all over the world.
I love the fact that Nick Cage is now leaning into him being Nick Cage.
Yeah. I love that other movie he did, the Nick Cage.
The one with Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
That's
that was
great.
Really great. And I avoided watching it. And then when I got picked to do this movie, I watched it. And I was like, holy, this is really, really funny.
It was great.
He was great to work with. I loved working with him. I got to hang out with him for like 4 or 5 days.
Awesome.
It was just scenes with me and him. So it was intimidating at first because he's method actor. He stays in character like in between scenes.
Oh, wow.
And so, in that movie, he's a very, subdued sort of professor. And he sort of has he talks very like high and sort of like nasally.
Yeah.
And so we'd be talking in our chairs or whatever. And I'd, ask him questions like, how are you? What's next for you? I'm not doing much. But he would just talk like that.
Right.
And it was just a trip because I don't do it. Yeah,
can
I'm
go
not
in
that
and out
kind
of
of actor.
character.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, nice talking to you.
Right. I can't imagine.
What were your demands for that movie? You're like, I want no sleeping,
No, I'm not laying down.
and no laying down.
Listen, we've been chatting for 40 minutes. Tim Meadows is at Helium Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow, 7:30 and 10 o'clock.
Wow.
What else we got to plug?
Lindsay Lohan movie. I'm doing a surprise thing. I can't talk about it, but it's going to be happening.
Because it's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Okay.
I should keep it under wraps. And then I'm just about to agree to do another movie that is a musical. So
With no singing and dancing from Tim Meadows.
I told him right off the bat, no singing, but it's God, I want to say, but I'm still negotiating stuff. But it's a very popular singer, producer, DJ is doing a movie about his life. And it's being the reason I want to do it is because the director that is doing it is a really great director, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I hope everything works out.
Yeah, me
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Tim Meadows.
Everyone clap.
Yeah, I'm clapping.
Everyone clap.
Number one
All right,
coach.
we got to take one final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap her up. All right, that is it for us. Donnie Fandango is next. Big thanks to Tim Meadows. See him at Helium Comedy Club this weekend, tonight, tomorrow, 7:30 and 10 o'clock. All right, today's wrap-up sponsored by Jack in the Box. And Jack wraps a little bit of healthy, a little bit of indulgence, only at Jack. Scott, what's today's podcast title?
Tim Meadows did it.
Cool.
Tim Meadows did it. All
Yes,
right.
he did.
Scott, what else?
Well, you can follow me at King Scott Rules, and also, more importantly, I want to say happy birthday to my dear sweet sister.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday! It's her big day.
Princess.
The princess.
All right,
Number
thank
2.
you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Learn.
Follow me on the socials for everything you want to know about my life at Lern versus Radio.
And you'll be joining Rafe on the number 2 show.
On the number 2 show.
Live at 11 o'clock.
My first time being live with Rafe on the number 2 show.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What's going on there, Rafe?
Live. We're going to be talking about astrology, all things crazy, weird, and Wiccan. And call in if you got a good story or anything like that. Follow me on the socials at I am Rafe Williams. The number will be live on the Points YouTube. I'll do an Instagram live and put the number out, but you can call right now. I've plugged it plenty on the show. And then hang out with me tomorrow night at Hot Shots in Wentzville, 7 to 9.
Very important. It's the 10-year anniversary of that particular location, Hot Shots Wentzville, with Rafe from 7 to 9. Chance to win some fabulous prizes and hang out with the guy himself, the man himself.
Wow.
I intend to draw dozens of folks.
It's going to be wild.
How many people show up to get you to eat a piece of meat in your vegan month?
He said
100
15
people.
yesterday.
100 people.
100 people.
Okay.
And Rafe will consume 5 pounds of chicken wings.
Mass quantities.
Bone and all.
Yeah. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We're playing this song just because Tim Meadows wanted to hear it. That's it.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
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 The Rizzuto Show.